Hey, T-Sippers. What it do? What it do? What it do? Whew. I'm late. I am late. I am late. But I'm here now. Trying to get prepared for the weekend. Uh, Ending weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, all the active fathers, all the fathers who are in their kids' life. And happy Father's Day who desire to be in their kids' life, but they baby mama tripping. So happy Father's Day to you guys as well. AunTeaFee ain't gonna act like I don't know that some females can be trife. I do understand. But happy Father's Day. If you caught my video earlier, both of them, the live and the just short I just did, wishing you guys happy Father's Day. We need you. That's all I'm going to say. If you want to catch the rest of it, go check out the little video and the extended, the live I did earlier regarding Carmelo Anthony, the teenage kid that in Frisco that was standing his ground and protecting himself from two bully twin brothers. I followed up on that one with the video release. So check it out. Also, I talked about Tyree Nichols. Federal judge recused himself, I think on Friday the 13th, right before he was supposed to sentence the former Scorpion Unit cops for excessive force with Tyree Nichols that caused him to no longer be with us. Trying to touch bases on why the federal judge recused himself days before he was supposed to sentence 2 on Monday and 1 on Tuesday. So I followed up with that, and I also did a Father's Day tribute to my guy, YOUNGDOLPH. This is why I'm here. Some people may only know me from Diddy, Diddler, but I started with really Mo3, then Dolph, and I'm here, and I'm all over the place now. But let's talk about 50. We got to catch up. We got to get prepared for what's coming this week. Some more people going to be on the stand. There's been some updates with the judge. Oh, some surprise. Right before your very eyes, Diddy. You thought you was slick. You thought you was setting her up. Baby. And you was pulling that, I don't want to call her O card, acting like a female, trying to persuade. Nah, I ain't gonna put that on a female. That's the game that you've been playing, because you're a master manipulator. See, you were master in manipulating. And you got caught up in your own sauce. Trying to manipulate these females. And when you thought the heat was on, because that video came out, and you started losing, you started needing a friend, phoning a friend. Baby, you started recording folk. Well, you's a recorder anyway, right? You always recording. Y'all come in, hitting the like button. I'm okay. You was recording them freak offs, you know. You was recording stuff illegally that you wasn't supposed to for your own personal, what is that called? Fetish? Addiction? You are definitely a nymphomaniac, baby. And I know guys have high SX drives, but baby, you take that to another level. But anyway, it's kind of late. I don't want to be up all night because I normally been doing those riots, falling asleep on the riots with the people who be up late, you know. Whew, that'd be something else. Ooh, that ice stuff. But anyway, y'all ready to go? Because I don't want to be here long. Can y'all hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe? And, yeah. Diddy ass in trouble. And, baby, they've been talking about him with some updates. So, let's check it out so we can be ready for the week. Y'all ready to go? Or y'all ready to go? What background I'm going to use? Let me see. I don't think I took one Diddy. Let's see. Let's go with this one. Y'all ready? Let's get it started. Oh, let's get it started. Please come in hitting the like button. That's maybe too far over, but we'll see.
And a lot of celebrities been celebrating with their children and their wives. Everybody seems to be having a good day. Everybody except 50 Cent. 50 Cent just shared a message for Father's Day to his baby mama Daphne Joy, and it sounds crazy. He posted to his Instagram this picture of him looking like Timmy the Tool Man, and he wrote the caption, "Oh, it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Lil B. I have full custody soon, Lil B. We'll be back on OnlyFans in no time, Lil B. How's your day going, Lil B?" Yo, 50 Cent got time every single day. But we all know why 50 Cent's been mad. These court transcripts for the Diddy trial got his stomach in a knot. This is how he feels about Father's Day. Listen. Father's Day is a holiday. It's not really a holiday. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I show y'all this, even by the commercials. Look at the commercials. They'll show you Father's Day. They show you a screwdriver, power tool. Like, go fix some shit. They want to see you to go fix it. You know what I'm saying? But then when Mother's Day comes, be like Zales because you care. If it's them, it's like more diamonds. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll do it for their mother, but they ain't gonna do it for their father. Mother's Day comes, get flowers, cards, all kind of shit. You get a text on Father's Day. That's how you get a text. You get a text to make sure that you still know where you should send your check. Nah, he might got a valid point. Father's Day is nothing compared to Mother's Day. Men don't really get no love. But 50 Cent's son, not the one with the baby mama Daphne, but his first son, the one that looked just like him, decided to respond to 50 Cent's Father's Day comment. So he posted to his Instagram page and wrote the caption, "Oh, it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the real ones. I'm watching my bet and it ain't looking too good. We all know this day for photo ops. The day ain't over yet. Finish strong. Get on your job." Basically, he posted a screenshot of him placing a bet if 50 Cent takes a photo with his second son. So we all know 50 Cent's second son. He is the son that he had with Daphne Joy, and it is literally his joy and pride. He goes up there and takes pictures with him. He does the most, and he really is in that son's life. Unlike he is with Marquise. But it's so interesting that 50 Cent has two relationships and two kids by two different women, and both of those relationships is estranged. The first relationship he had with his first baby mama, Shaniqua Thompson, didn't really work out so well. And then he had a mini version of himself. And she loves him, but she is just so mad at 50 Cent that 50 Cent never really decided to want to be the father. But that's because he didn't want nothing to do with you, and you got pregnant, you kept it. Not saying that's a reason for anybody to abandon their kid, but You know, sometimes it happens. And then the second baby mama, oh my gosh, she been all out and about in the Diddy transcripts, and 50 Cent loves the kid, but hates the baby mama. So it's one time 50, Sire, and Daphne was one happy family, but not anymore. At the end of this day, this all came about because Diddy maxed out 50 Cent's baby mama. He turned her into a worker. Now, he just can't handle it. Look what Whack 100 and academics were saying about everything.
We get on in the morning.
Oh yeah, you been hey, that Diddy a cold freak.
Yo, hold on. They might have exposed. They might have exposed Kanye. Check it out.
What?
50's baby mom admitted she was in a freak off with another rapper and his wife, but it wasn't Diddy.
50 baby mama?
She said she was at other freak offs.
Hey, 50 can say what he wants. This shit is with him, bro. Gotta send my baby mama in the pussy, bro.
Yeah, no. I think he's tweeting through the page. He's tweeting through the page.
You better go Diddy wise. So, huh? We just don't go. We don't go in. It's gonna be 11 to 1. Yo, this wife got hit by the Punisher.
Really?
I told me today on the line.
Yo, hold on. You know what's gotta happen?
He said it was at a Diddy party.
Yo, Adam gotta pay the money to smash that. Again, no disrespect. You gotta smash 50 Day Mom. She been in multiple freak offs. She a freak. Yo,
Who a freak?
50 Baby. Yo, she said she would do all-star freak offs. The top
So you
big.
said she was in there with Kanye and killed his baby. Right up.
Hey.
So she said she was in there with another celebrity and they
By
wife.
the way,
Yeah, so Ja Rule even had to respond. Like, what? So this is why 50 Cent is so upset. I wouldn't, on Father's Day, that's the first thing I'm posting is a tirade at my baby mama. Especially if my man Diddy had her doing all-star freak offs and flipping her up and down. I promise you the only reason Diddy was even messing with Daphne is because he does not like 50 Cent.
I agree.
So it was the ultimate.
I totally
disrespect.
agree.
So 50, man.
And that's
it's
why
eating
he
them
made her
alive.
do
So
more.
I completely understand all this, man. Look at this picture. 50 Cent was in love, dog. Oh my God. So, happy Father's Day, 50.
They filing
Happy Father's Day.
motions.
What do you guys think? Is 50 Cent wrong for abandoning his first child, Marquise, and only showing love to his second child? Or does 50 Cent have perfect reason to be acting the way he does? Let us know and keep it locked next time.
The main reason I keep coming back to shop with Misfits Market is for pieces. And the
Hold on. It's a motion. They filed a motion.
And that has one standard, but it is before the exercise of preemptory challenges and
Filed a
impounding of the
motion
jury.
to keep the
And
juror
so
number
that
6.
has one standard. I think the defense's suggestion, they put this in bold because I think this is important for us to read. And I think it's consistent with a lot of the
Diddy
cases.
asked judge for a mistrial if juror is dismissed, accused prosecution of racial bias.
You have a regular jury.
Oh, that jury, man.
At that point, you need something more to disqualify a juror. And the cases cited by both sides have situations presented that are far more extreme than what's been presented here. So it was just totally agreeing with the defense. Moreover, although the court indicated a preference for further inquiry, it specifically noted, quote, I think that it is likely that what we will hear will be a perfectly innocent explanation for the answer. And then it's in bold again, so pay attention. I don't think that they're irreconcilable. I think that for the reasons that the defense has stated, there's a way to reconcile the entire record, and that's in the transcript. The court also noted that the, quote, only reason why this situation even came up is because of a statement that was made on the juror's own volition to jury department staff in a friendly and an offhand banter.
Right. He told on himself.
So the court further observed, and there's perhaps an understandable inside all of these issues, which is that I believe that the question that was initially asked during voir dire, during the group proceeding, was where do you live? And then kind of who do you live with? But based on the answers that were being given by the group, it could have been that the juror thought, where do I live? I live in the Bronx. And that would be consistent with everything that we've heard, because he indicated that he had moved out of the Bronx in the last 2 weeks, and there might be some ambiguity about how much time he was spending in each place, but that's at least what he said. As to the second question,
he lied.
He might have understood it to be, who is in your family group? As to the question, he indicated his fiance and his baby daughter. And so you can reconcile these things, and given what we're talking about, which is where do you live and kind of basic questions,
he lied.
It would be surprising that someone would try to make up something about it. Maybe even if
he shouldn't have brought it up.
It wouldn't rise to the level of removal of the juror.
Yeah.
The various constitutional
if he lived in New Jersey, at times in New York and others, yeah, no. Diddy as judge for a mistrial if juror is dismissed, accuses prosecution of racial bias.
That can lead to a concern that the juror's employment was somehow in jeopardy.
No.
In response to the court's comments, the government ultimately stated, quote, that the most prudent thing to do to ensure the integrity of the proceedings would be have additional inquiry. It endorsed further fact-finding, stating that such fact-finding was...
I would keep him dismissed just because you're trying to come at me like this.
Consider the party's argument and whether to conduct further inquiry later. In light of the discussion in the morning, the defense was stunned.
Can y'all hear?
At the end of the day, in stark contrast to his extensive earlier remarks about...
So another request for a mistrial.
Understandable way to reconcile, end quote, the juror's answers, that it believed the juror was either, quote, unable to follow simple instructions and answer simple questions, end quote, or was, quote, shading the truth or being deceptive.
Shading the truth.
Judge, this is a total different from the morning to the afternoon. Total different. A total about face. And would dismiss the juror without further inquiry. Respectfully, there is simply no evidence to support the court's very serious accusation or stated concern about the juror's ability to, quote, fairly and impartially apply the rules of law of the court to the facts of the case, to consider the evidence in a fair way and to follow instructions of the court.
He lives in...
I'm trying to see if I needed to...
He said sometime he live here, sometime he live there. He live in Jersey.
He had a New York license and still maintained his residence in the Bronx. This was somehow nefarious and suggested an effort to try to get into the jury. But the juror was already on the jury and had sat through over 4 weeks of trial. Having been willing to serve, which many citizens aren't, and have dutifully devoted all this time to attending the trial, why would a juror not want to complete his service? Why would he not emphasize that he is still a legal resident of New York, even if he spends several nights a week? Redaction. There is not a shred of evidence that he had a pre-existing agenda when responding to voir dire questions, as opposed to a willingness to do his civic duty, and the statements the court cited were made after weeks of service, not at the outset. That is true. Because, like, the trial sounds like it's about to be over in the next week and a half to 2 weeks. And this person has sat there.
So has the replacement.
Because an offhand...
So has the alternate.
Which may or may not question his residency or where he currently lives, even though he has a New York license and said he lived in the Bronx. Now the government is pushing to get him kicked off of the jury. Because apparently, I think the next person, the first alternative, I think they said is a white guy.
Mm-hmm. And he don't want an old white man.
But I'm sure they're whoever the alternate is. So. Okay.
Oh my God.
Likes up, y'all. Okay, I'll try to see. Peace 4100 said those 5 prosecutor lady wants juror 6 out. They have said he makes face gestures that can influence the jury.
True.
And he lives in Bronx but visits his girlfriend and daughter in New Jersey.
Yep.
Said he smiles too much. They don't know what that man is thinking. Yeah, it's the oldest white man. Yeah.
Everybody's watching.
I don't know.
Everybody's body language.
He said some folks are saying Juror 6 made a distinct reaction when Mia was on the stand by putting his notepad aside like he's already made up his mind, prompted them to investigate him. Well, that's going to be, I've heard people making faces about Jane. Of course, the Brianna, we going to get to that in a minute because the jury instruction that's being proposed because the judge doesn't want to grant a mistrial, or that was his proposed solution, was for them to come up with a jury instruction that basically you're saying she was untruthful. I don't know if the judge is going to accept it. They haven't got to the charging instructions yet. Usually that's like a day that they start doing the charging instructions, either after the court for the day or beforehand, or they'll take a whole day to do that and to go over jury instructions, and everyone argues the ones that they have issues with, because each side is going to try to get in some type of jury instruction the other side doesn't. And they got to come with their case law, and they got to argue. You have some special instructions that are predicated on case law that aren't necessarily your standard jury instructions that they're going to go over. But yeah, it's starting to look a little interesting in this courtroom. I'm just saying. Hey, Shar, good to see you. You know. Let me see if I see anything else. Oh, we got some super chats. Thank you so much. Granny the Great said, good evening. Thank you so much for the super chat. She also said, happy Father's Day, Deb. I hope you had a wonderful day.
Yep, happy Father's Day.
Ooh, that's so nice. All right, let's go on, y'all. Let's get back into this scathing letter. Should the court exclude Juror?
Are y'all able to hear? I need for you to fall out the clouds and let me know that y'all can hear. Give me a 1 if y'all can hear.
In the future, a step in
Please.
the wrong direction. Because one of Diddy's attorneys did say, out of my 20, 30, 35, whatever amount of years he's been practicing, he said, I've never seen a jury this diverse. He says, so we're moving in the right direction. And now it feels like, Judge, we're just going backwards.
Well.
The government has previously argued that racial disparities in jury service exist because Black and Hispanic people disproportionately fail to respond to jury qualification questionnaires, and that's in U.S. v. Slaughter. So apparently the minorities is like,
and that's true, because we don't.
Pay $25 a day, okay? I gotta go to work, and I'm busy, apparently. But I think it's going to change, because it seems like there are more people that are interested in the legal process. The more we talk about it on YouTube, social media, period, or the more they stream trials, I think a lot of people are interested in cases of which they will probably want to do jury instruction before. Do jury duty before. Because I know when I was younger, all you heard about how people didn't want to be on it, and so they're telling you all the tricks to try to get off of it. But now it just seems like a lot of people are more interested in this process when they weren't before. And the good part about that is when you have the public that is interested in it, you can make changes can happen. You have more people that support changes happening. So I'm excited.
Can y'all hear her?
And they went outside of Law and Order and all of the made up shows, because our system don't necessarily work that way. I think that these type of cases are giving you an insight of what's in our legal system.
But I don't want us just to give people who are dirty and need to be in jail
out. The call and dutifully performed what the court stated was tremendously important task, recognized by the Constitution itself. We should invite his service as well as the service of other potential jurors in his.
Yeah, but he got to be truthful.
Third, if the
he can't come in lying,
then blankety blank, 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 redaction. You won't know what that says. Oh, okay.
I feel like he done been bought. That's my opinion.
The government's motion continues a pattern of overreach, suggesting a discriminatory motive in challenging juror. Although the court denied our Batson challenge and said it found no basis to suggest the government had a discriminatory motive when it sought to strike juror blank, we believe that motive is supported not only by its remarkable decision to use 7 of its 9 preemptory strikes on black jurors.
That's why they have alternatives.
So preemptory strikes.
Hey, Leo, smash the like. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, you don't have to have a reason. Like, you have, they'll say is it for cause. And for causes, you could say that person knows the lawyer. Or that person.
Is it okay, Leo, if I give you a mod stick so it'll light up?
And they can't be unbiased, period.
And somebody have to be
those are
removed.
ways for cause. Your preemptory challenges.
Is it okay, Leo, if I give you a mod stick today?
What, you don't have to have a reason. The reason
I appreciate you.
Whispered between you and your co-counsels, if you have co-counsels, on why you want them to be off. So apparently, according to Diddy's team,
Thank
7
you.
of their 9 preemptory strikes were on black jurors. But also by the history of the investigation and prosecution, which has been characterized by extreme government overreach from the beginning.
Hi, Jay.
So then they say preemptory challenges during jury selection. The court accepted the government's proffered reason for its preemptory strikes of black jurors as race neutral. Nonetheless, it is important to note that for many of these jurors, the purported reasons themselves were based on the jurors or their relatives, interactions with law enforcement, including prior convictions. But it is well documented that there is a long history.
He shouldn't have lied about where he stayed. He shouldn't have been complaining to the staff.
Hispanic people in this country. That's the truth. And the discrimination in how law enforcement treats them in comparison with white people. And they got C. Floyd v. City of New York. They have the case site, which was describing historic heightened enforcement of black and Hispanic people in this district. Moreover, a 2022 study of 3,200 innocent defendants.
You're welcome. No, thank you.
Since 1989 revealed that black Americans are 7 times more likely than white Americans to be falsely convicted of serious crimes. Don't I beat that in y'all head? This is my
yeah, but
this is what I do.
You can't come. You can't come in on their lying.
Citing a prospective juror's former conviction or their relative's former conviction, or the fact that they have had negative interactions with the police, only reinforces the race discrimination that led to the over-investigation and over-prosecution of blacks and other minorities in this country. People should not be precluded from serving on juries because of a prior conviction or a relative's prior conviction.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Bad experience when the police stopped their car on a pretext or conducted a stop and frisk on a pretext. And you know, they were the
I don't know nobody.
Godfather of stop.
No brother of culture is okay
if they had a
with being straight up and honest.
That's a perspective that is important.
And putting another man in prison.
Courts like the Washington State courts have implemented rules foreclosing the use of a preemptory because a juror has had prior contact with a law enforcement officer or has a, quote, close relationship with people who have been stopped, arrested, or convicted of a crime. So that's actually in the Washington court rules. Here, the government justified several of its strikes on this sort of basis. For instance, it said one reason for the first strike was that the juror had a fiance that served 4 years in prison for a drug conviction.
The same person?
That's why they struck that person.
Oh, okay.
The reason supplied for the second strike was that, quote, he had been arrested 3 times, including for harassing a police officer. The fourth strike was juror, quote, whose ex-husband has spent 21 years in prison for attempted unaliving and remained close with him and had a brother who had been incarcerated for 2 years based on a
They didn't figure that out before they...
The government justified its fifth strike in part on the basis that the juror had 2 brothers who each did time in prison for felony convictions. Another strike cited inconsistent explanations of interactions with the police. So these were their reasons why they wanted to strike all these black folks. history of investigation and prosecution. So they probably gonna get into all the stuff that they don't like about what they did with Diddy. Okay. Thank you, Cece, for the super sticker. Miss T, thank you so much for the super chat. Stormy, thank you so much. You guys, please make sure you hit that like button. I appreciate it.
Yeah, double tap the screen.
Hey, Dennis, good to see you. Juror number 6, Peace 4100 said, Juror number 6 is a black man, is a correction officer in New York. His license is New York, and his mail goes to his home in Bronx. They've had judge question him 2 times. Could have been nervous. Absolutely, I would have been.
Why? Just answer the question.
My
Unless you, about where you live? Oh.
Melanie said, I wish the sentencing was just as simple as the way the crime was committed. Yes.
They need to keep him out.
Was this the juror that was frequently late, so he was running his mouth and staff heard him? Yes.
Oh, so he frequently late.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
That is him.
Oh, okay.
Kia Elder.
So that means he probably do live in New Jersey.
Any of this stuff works anymore because that the president is a convicted felon. All the rules should go out the window. Anyone should be able to be on a jury. So interesting enough, Kia, if you are a convicted felon, like just say hypothetically,
he not on
prison, he can come out and he can run for Congress. Like he can run to be, he could run for all of that. He can run to be president. There's only 2 reasons why they have that.
He can't vote.
To be able to run, which is why people were filing lawsuits because they used the insurrection as a reason because that's in the Constitution. So yes, if you are a convicted felon, you can be in a federal political office. Now, in many states, they can ban you from being able to run. So like in the state of Michigan, when we had our issues with Kwame Kilpatrick and a couple other politicians, they changed our constitution to add that if you are convicted of any crimes related to theft, dishonesty, fraud, financial, those type of convictions, you cannot run for, I think it's 20 years. But you have some states that say you can never run.
Yeah,
So it's interesting that we've had people that have run for state office and then people challenge it because of their convictions and they get kicked off the ballot. Mm-hmm. But then you have people, the same person can run for Congress and go up to the Capitol over there in Washington and they're just fine. That's just the way the law is. So a lot of people will say the president got 5,000 felonies and all of that. It's nothing, of course I'm exaggerating. But there's nothing that is illegal about that.
Okay, so let's move on.
Addresses are still valid for him to serve. He just should have answered the question exactly as such. I'm part-time there and part-time here.
Yeah, he didn't answer it right, so he needs to. I'm with him. I think that they should keep him off.
All right.
He's not truthful.
History of the investigation. For starters, it is notable that Mr. Combs, one of the most successful and self-made black men in America, and a person who was an icon, not just in the black community, but in the music industry, the fashion industry, and otherwise, was indicted by the SDNY Civil Rights Unit. When the unit was established, former U.S. Attorney Damian Williams was quoted as saying, quote, white supremacist groups are on the march. Anti-Semitism is on the march. Anti-Asian violence is on the march. Abuse of the most vulnerable in our society is on the march. But this prosecution has nothing to do with civil rights enforcement. What is being prosecuted is allegations about private sexual activity Mr. Combs engaged in with 2 of his former girlfriends and third parties. All of this was part of a coordinated effort to try to destroy one of the most successful black men in American history. All of Mr. Combs' ventures are entirely legitimate, and the government has never suggested otherwise. Instead, the government's case is all about his personal life and what he and his romantic partners have done in the privacy of the bedroom. As the trial has shown, the most significant evidence against Mr. Combs involves domestic violence, incidents normally dealt with by local authorities or family court. Yet, the prosecutors have made a federal, quote, civil rights case out of how Mr. Combs and his former girlfriends conducted their private ex lives. The theory of prosecution not only has nothing to do with civil rights enforcement, but it is also unprecedented. Indeed, we are unaware of any other federal criminal charge charging racketeering or ex-trafficking based on allegations that a man and his past long-term adult girlfriend sometimes brought a third party, a male escort or entertainer, into their actual relationship. Since its inception, the case has been rife with overreach and unusually aggressive tactics normally reserved for prosecutions of violent gangs, organized crimes, and terrorism. So then they're giving bullet points. The purported victims never complained to law enforcement. Ms. Ventura's lawsuit was settled for $20 million, and she never made any complaint to SDNY or any other law enforcement agency, nor did Jane. Indeed, the government labeled her a victim in blank and bail arguments long before it had ever interviewed her. And she claims to have testified only because she was compelled to by subpoena. Second bullet point, the government has devoted enormous resources to this case. The undersigned are not aware of any other recent case involving more than 5 AUSAs, and here we have 6 at trial, along with 2 filter teams, AUSAs, and multiple actively involved supervisors. Additionally, the Department of Homeland Security assigned multiple agents to the case, and numerous other agents have assisted at various points, including hundreds of heavily armed agents in combat gear who executed military-style raids complete with armored vehicles on Mr. Combs' Los Angeles and Miami homes in March 2024. And the government, who apparently retained a highly paid jury consultant in this case, which is exceedingly rare for the government to do, a consultant who may well be advising the prosecutors in connection with the instant motion. So they think since they got a jury consultant they hired, so they doing a whole lot in order to try to come against Diddy's team. I'm sure his team had jury consultants, and we see that a lot on the defense side when it comes to criminal, but they're saying the government actually did it. So they're believing that, they're suggesting rather, that their jury consultant might have been looking at old boy like, yeah, we got to get him off of here. You guys need to try to find a way, dig into your research, pull out your law books, dust off your books. You need to get him up off of here. The SDNY refused to engage with defense counsel during the investigation. Mr. Combs' lawyer approached prosecutors as soon as they learned of the investigation, even before the warrants were executed, and requested an opportunity to meet. Yet, the SDNY refused them and repeatedly refused thereafter to engage with counsel substantively throughout the investigation and leading to Mr. Combs' arrest in September 2024. The prosecutors also refused to allow Mr. Combs to voluntarily surrender, presumably to create another media spectacle like the one orchestrated during the raids discussed below. Next point, the SDNY used misrepresentations and material omissions in warrant applications. Although the court denied our Frank,
so they got a whole bunch of motions that they filed.
How the SDNY obtained the March 2024 warrants to search Mr. Combs' homes, person, and all his electronic devices using materially misleading applications. They omitted extensive evidence undercutting the credibility of Ms. Ventura and other witnesses the warrant application relied on to establish probable cause. For instance, when obtaining the warrants, the government completely disregarded extensive evidence then in its possession, showing Mr. Combs and Ms. Ventura's relationship was, though at times toxic, consensual, and loving. The application also relied on several other witnesses the prosecutors later admitted were not credible. These witnesses were part of a feeding frenzy of grifters who were trying to extract money from Combs after the Ventura lawsuit became public. Yet, the prosecutors failed to disclose the financial motives of these witnesses and concealed exculpatory evidence that the government had in its possession when it sought the warrant. Next point, Investigators used excessive force and created a media circus during the raids of Combs' home. The search warrants were executed in a manner calculated to garner press attention, sensationalize the case, falsely portray Mr. Combs as dangerous, and taint any future jury pool. Now, what I will say is, I was out here in the media. This is why I told everyone, like, he is innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I kept reiterating it because a lot of these stories out here and a lot of these bloggers and a lot of bone carriers that were coming with this stuff has nothing to do with this case. It's never been brought up in the case. When I looked at the indictment, I was like, oh, they're going to supersede it. That's what I was thinking. They're going to supersede it and add a bunch of this other stuff. You had everyone going on platform. The crazy part, a lot of these people worked for Diddy and they got money. Then when they left because he fired them or he wasn't getting their job back, a lot of them are still
okay, it's time to move on
by starting channels or, you know, acting like they got so much insight.
Well, she's talking about a Jaguar. Okay, so hold on. Hold on, y'all. Oh, hold on. Please double tap the screen. I'm not in no hurry because my likes ain't up. Double tap the screen.
A tight-knit college in a city of opportunity.
You ever read something so legally flimsy and emotionally desperate that you can feel the panic coming off the page? Because that's, oh my God, you guys, come in, sit down, and shut the door. This is the worst Sunday ever for Diddy's team, and baby, they are doing.
Let's go. Shout out to Tisa.
To save this sinking ship. Y'all, listen. Diddy's team just filed a new motion. Now, listen, a lot of people are trying to be like, oh my God, they got Bonner. They going to get her for perjury. But let me give you some real insight. You ever read something so legally flimsy and emotionally desperate that you can feel the panic coming off the page? Because that's exactly what this latest filing from Diddy's legal team is. It's a frantic attempt to erase Bonner's testimony. You know Bonner, the one that said that he hung her over a balcony, Cassie's balcony on the 17th floor, and so many people were running with, oh my God, she perjured herself. She lost the jury. She lied. And I said, y'all, this actually happened. Diddy is the one gaslighting a nation. Well, guess what? The federal government hit back and said, baby, you want to call a witness a liar. We're bringing in hardcore proof that it happened and proof that it's obstruction, right? Well, get this. Back to Diddy's latest legal filing. Their attempt to erase Bonner's testimony. Not because it isn't true, but because it's far too true to survive a cross-examination.
I agree.
Now, we're talking about that FaceTime call from a man tied to Diddy, Rob Holiday. Used to be one of Bonner's closest friends, but after that call, they fell out. Because get this, and keep this in mind.
I'm sorry, I missed the people. I will.
Filing that was filed at the 11th hour. This call was placed before Bonner had told a soul she was considering legal action. It's the kind of thing that screams obstruction, or at the very least consciousness of guilt. But instead of addressing the substance, Diddy's lawyers are doing what powerful men and their accomplice women have always done when the truth gets too close. They're going to try to argue this out in paperwork. Okay, let's get into this, okay? Because Let's call this what this filing really is. It's a legal tantrum. On June 5th, Diddy's lawyer submitted a letter to the judge begging, not asking, but begging that the court throw out testimony from a woman named Miss Bongolan, or as we know her, Bana. And not because it's false, but because it's too dangerous to the defense. Again, let me explain. Bana received a FaceTime call from a man named Rob Holiday, a music producer who just happened to be chilling in Diddy's backyard, during which he flat out told her that he knew she was considering legal action after what happened to her. But here's the key point. At that point, she hadn't told anybody about any lawsuit. So, how would Rob Holiday, how would this man, who was allegedly just a friend of Diddy's, know to call her about a situation she never went public with, never spoke to anybody outside of Cassie and the people in that apartment, and a man that happened to be sitting in Diddy's Diddy's backyard, making alleged $1 million settlement offers? Well, baby, someone told him. And that someone, the prosecution is saying, is likely Sean, take that, Combs. Now, baby, what's Diddy's legal team's defense? That everybody, and when I say everybody outside the courtroom seems to be falling for. Not that he didn't do it. He even moved away from, she made it up. Their actual defense, Your Honor, she's either misremembering or straight up lying. This is a direct quote from these legal documents. Your Honor, it's obvious that Bana cannot accurately recall the events, or she's simply lying. Now, let's be clear. The defense isn't disproving her. They're trying to discredit her. It's giving, Your Honor, she's confused. Your Honor, she's emotional. Your Honor, she's hysterical. Your Honor. But what it's really giving is damage control in a court filing form. Now, what exactly are they trying to get thrown out? Because it's very important people realize this. Because the Bana thing happened. The government wants the jury to hear about Rob Holiday. Remember when we said, since you want to play that, I wouldn't be surprised if they bring in Rob Holiday to actually testify the call he made to Bana, offering from Diddy's backyard while Diddy was next to him, offering a settlement agreement 3 days after this alleged incident happened. Okay? The government wants the jury to hear that Rob Holiday, while in Diddy's backyard sitting next to Diddy, okay, FaceTime Bana, implying she knew she might sue. But Bana hadn't told a soul yet that she was planning to sue. The implication is devastating because it suggests, one, that Diddy told Rob Holiday to call Bana, and Diddy was trying to shut down this Bana situation quietly. Now ask yourself why a man who it never happened would get their best friend to call them from their backyard to offer a settlement. This eerily, what do you call it? Not replicates, but it eerily has echoes of what Diddy always tries to do when he tries to settle with people out of court. Now, Diddy team wants the entire call erased from the record because this call did exist. Why, you ask? Because they say it's hearsay. In fact, the word hearsay is tossed around so many times in this document, you think it will be Diddy's next mixtape drop. Here's a direct quote. Your Honor, the statements the government seeks to elicit are clearly hearsay, with no applicable exception. That's off of page 2. They're also claiming this call isn't even relevant, saying, Your Honor, the purported conversation with Rob Holiday is not relevant and should be excluded under Rule 403, again on page 2. But baby, what's the translation? Just because it looks shady doesn't mean it can be used against us. This is what they're really arguing. The law allows Diddy to settle with a woman for millions of dollars, or at least $1 million, and then claim that doesn't mean guilt? All right, I mean, maybe. But here's the real smoking gun. He was in Diddy's backyard. The government stated that Rob Holiday was calling from what looked like Diddy's backyard, and that he had a close personal and professional relationship with Diddy. And yet, the defense is acting like that's meaningless. They literally have the gall to write. Yana, the witness characterized Rob Holiday and Combs as mere friends, inconsistent with the notion that Rob Holiday was Combs' agent. Again, page 2. Baby, if I can call you from my backyard and offer a cash payout to someone I assaulted, I am responsible. Whether you call me a friend, an agent, or a DJ at the after party. But baby, what Diddy is really doing? I mean, listen, let's roll back on that, right? Because again,
Hi, Isabel.
If he called from Diddy's backyard and offered a cash payout to someone else on behalf of Diddy, someone Diddy allegedly assaulted, baby, I think Diddy's responsible. Whether you had an agent, a friend, or a DJ call. I mean, that's the way I see it. Anyway, what Diddy is really doing, Diddy is trying to win on the technicality. Again, you guys, and this is the powerful thing that all these people are overlooking. Because they're falling for the Diddy stuff, but baby, not me, not I. They're not naive. They're not saying it didn't happen. They're saying you can't prove it right in a courtroom. This is a direct quote from page 2. Yana, even the facts as alleged by the government will not render the statements admissible. They want the judge to rule that the connection between Rob Holiday and Diddy wasn't formal enough to legally count. Like, oops, he's not technically on payroll, so that whole FaceTime call, it doesn't count. Sorry. Yeah, no. Let me tell you what it is. It's a technical dodge. It's a Hail Mary. It's a legal smoke bomb. They're trying to bury Bonna's story, not because it's irrelevant, but because it's dangerously credible. The coldest, most annoying part, they have the nerve to accuse the prosecution of playing dirty because the prosecution dug up the receipts. The prosecution caught Diddy red-handed. Diddy's lawyers even accused the government of trying to lead the witness into saying what they want. This is from page 3. Yana, the government requested permission to lead the witness. The court stated that that would not be permissible. The government ignored the court's warning. So now they're saying the government is the one playing games when they're the ones out here fighting to suppress a FaceTime call? That Diddy's lawyers even accused the government of trying to lead the witness into saying what they want. This is from page 3. Yana, the government requested permission to lead the witness. The court stated that that would not be permissible. The government ignored the court's warning. So now they're saying the government is the one playing games when they're the ones out here fighting to suppress a FaceTime call that screams cover up? Baby, listen, I'm going to need Diddy to wrap this up in 5 to 10 business days because this filing is not a flex. Let's just call it. Bonna was allegedly assaulted. She got a call from someone tight with Diddy from Diddy's backyard before she even told anyone she was thinking of suing. Diddy's team tried to pay her off. Reports say that the payoff amount started at $1 million. He was willing to start negotiation at $1 million. And now Diddy's lawyers are trying to silence her with procedural tricks and hearsay rules. They want to scrub the call, discredit the woman, blame the prosecutors, all while pretending it's business as usual. But baby, you and I both know, if there's one thing Diddy's always been good at, it's making problems disappear behind the velvet rope. You guys, listen, what do y'all think about this? I do want to say one thing. This filing shows that Bonna's vindicated because they can say that she got the date wrong by a few days. Maybe it happened on the 20th. Maybe it happened the 22nd. Maybe she thought her girlfriend took the pictures that same night, and maybe it got taken 3 days later. She said she was high the whole time. But one thing they can't deny is that 3 days after the incident, Rob Holiday, Diddy's good friend, and at one time Bonna's good friend, called her from something going on, a gathering at Diddy's backyard with Diddy right next to him, trying to stop her from suing and settle out of the amount, and negotiations were set to start at $1 million. Maybe, exactly. We're going to cover the story. Let us know. Don't forget, we are going to be in the courthouse live Monday.
Okay, let's see what's next.
Does your internet bill keep getting higher? That's because promo pricing is full of surprises. At Google Fiber,
He sent it to phone number 2. They found out about phone number 1 when they arrested him and found phone number 2, and that's where there were forwarded messages from. Oh my God, you guys, come in, sit down, and shut the door. We have an update in the Sean Diddy Combs case. Remember that secret hidden phone that Diddy was fighting to keep out of court? Well, guess what? The judge has ruled on it. And you guys, this is devastating. When I say devastating,
the judge ruled on it.
You guys, this is breaking news in the Diddy case, and it's bad, real bad.
That's good.
Judge Arun has just made a ruling that could blow a massive
Diddy going to
hole
jail
in Diddy's
soon.
legal defense.
Yep.
And by could,
For
I
a
mean
long
will,
time.
because they ruled against Diddy. And if you're confused, don't worry. I'm going to explain exactly what this means, why it's so brutal, and how it could expose everything he's tried to keep hidden. Okay, so what happened? Let me bring you up to speed. So here's what happened. Diddy tried to argue that a series of messages, including that now infamous founded voice note about a hidden phone, were protected by attorney-client privilege. Not just any privilege throw, he threw everything at the wall. Corporate privilege to Combs Global, again, this links to the federal forfeiture, right? And the RICO, the common interest rule. Basically, we're all in this together, so it's private. Let's not forget that he was texting his assistant to contact the lawyer, Tenny Garagos, and the Colville Doctrine, which says even assistants, KK, who it's rumored to be, and translators can be protected if they're helping the lawyer understand the situation. Now, to Diddy, that sounded airtight, right? Wrong. Why is that? Because Judge Submarinian just ruled on this. Now, if you guys don't know, part of the reasons why people are looking at Diddy like, what is wrong with you? Is because there is literally a voice note that for some reason he put on phone number 1. He sent it to phone number 2. They found out about phone number 1 when they arrested him and found phone number 2. And that's where there were forwarded messages from phone number 1. Sound confusing? Don't worry. The government broke it down for us, okay? But listen, Diddy did say that what he found was on the phone could be a game changer, a big breakthrough, right? He said he didn't delete anything from the phone, implying that it may hold incriminating or exculpatory evidence related to female number 1. Now, we don't know if that's Jane Doe, if it's Cassie, whoever. Again, a romantic partner during the conspiracy period that is charged, okay?
Well, he told his son to get rid of some stuff on that first
that he sent to KK. Actually,
call,
this guy is so stupid, saying, I don't know how this happened, but they found a phone. We found a phone that the raid didn't catch. Now, just to let you know, when the raid happened, not only do they raid it, but they actually send something to you and your lawyer saying that even if the raid didn't find stuff, you are legally obligated under this investigation to turn over any and all electronics, including but not limited to iPhone, pads, notebooks, tablets. So he knew he had to turn it in. But you guys, it gets worse because get this, right? Get this. The judge just ruled. The judge just ruled this, okay? Diddy's challenges arguing that communications are privileged, all right? And that was communications between his assistant, who's rumored to be KK, because she was his assistant at the time, and she would be the only one that had Tenny Garagos' number. Diddy was arguing they were privileged. They said the court has reviewed the parties' arguments and authorities, as well as the communications at issues, substantially for the reasons set forth in the filter team's reply brief. The court finds that the communications are not privileged under any of the doctrines that Combs invokes, namely the common interest rule, Colville, or corporate privilege. It is so ordered. You guys, let me say this again. It is not privileged. It is not protected. It is fair game for prosecution. Now
they're gonna eat his ass up.
That means the government can
Didn't I tell y'all it was making a sandwich?
Messages, the voice note, the text, the photos on the secret phone, all of it. And worse, they can use it to argue that Diddy was trying to hide evidence,
absolutely,
mislead the investigation, or even obstruct justice.
Mhm.
Now, let's get into the obstruction of justice really quick, okay? Because this is the part that is most damning, okay? Where the obstruction of justice is under federal law, U.S. Code 1512 or 1503, any act that corruptly obstructs, influences, or impedes an official proceeding. You don't need to succeed with obstruction of justice. Just the intent to interfere with an investigation or court proceeding is enough. So you might be asking, so how's Diddy vulnerable? To get to the point. Well, baby, let's line this up for you. Let's line this up. Like Diddy's koala fade. That phone was found after the raids. He didn't turn it over with the dozens of other devices seized from his home for persons.
Okay, so hold on. Let me pause this for a minute. Y'all remember yesterday and the day before? Was it yesterday? We talked about that manhunt, Minnesota lawmakers. Look like they caught him. Breaking news.
Breaking news from KARE 11.
Good evening. We are breaking into regular programming briefly tonight to let you know that 57-year-old Vance Belter, the suspect in the assassination of Representative Melissa Hortman, has been apprehended near his home in Green Isle, according to sources, and we believe that he's been apprehended alive.
That is correct. Just within the last 10 or 15 minutes,
The lawmaker
we were able to confirm
that was shot.
They, right in the area by his house where the search intensified.
Did it scare you? Me
after
too,
they
me.
Towed away the vehicle, the Buick, that he was believed to be driving, that was abandoned on the road there. They concentrated the search more towards his house in Green Isle there and another property adjacent to it. This is some video as that search itself began to intensify. And according to a source that I reached this evening, they were able to take him into custody alive near the property there.
Glad they got him off the streets.
Earlier this evening, all the officers were conversing on his house. I'm having some mic take over for a second while we switch that out.
Yeah, so this is a look at the property there of the vehicle being taken away. That was the vehicle that he was believed to be driving in yesterday after the shooting. And now here is the video of the search through the fields near his property there. There you see them going into an outbuilding.
So he was hiding in the shed. Please double tap your screen.
Which was about
the
5
lights up,
miles
please.
from his home in Green Isle throughout the day. Later on in the afternoon, a tow truck arrived and they brought the car back. They towed it away for processing for DNA and fingerprints and so forth. They did find some evidence in the car that helps them in their investigation. BCA Superintendent Drew Evans confirmed to us. And after they towed the car away, then they moved in closer to his actual home and a property across the road from it.
We know this will be a great relief, particularly to the people in Green Isle who had a very worrisome night last night, knowing that he had a farm in that area, and also, of course, to all of our elected leaders in the state who had been on high alert because this man clearly was targeting people with political motivations. So we are happy to report that the suspect in the multiple shootings that occurred here 2 days ago of our lawmakers that tragically took the lives of Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, and gravely injured Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette, that man, Vance Belter, has been apprehended. We are going to send you back to regular programming, but we will be back at the top of the hour with all the latest news and new details at 10 o'clock for KARE 11 News at 10.
We now return you to our regularly scheduled program in progress.
Hold on.
I gotta tell you about a dirty little secret. The insurance industry doesn't want you to know this. What the insurance companies do is that they...
The fields around there. They got him right at sunset, too, it looks like. Let's see if we've got anything else on X. We're getting a press conference in about 35 minutes if you're just joining.
They got
We
him.
do have some more footage here. Let's see what we've got. Oh, look at, that's where he was. Check this out.
Okay, let's go back until they come up with a,
See that? He was in that actual, like, farmland we saw.
okay, let's go back. So I'm glad they got him. Yay.
I don't know how they found him. He was army crawling through here.
Dozens of other devices seized from his homes or persons. He describes the phone as from the time me and female one went to that, or even obstruct justice. Now let's get into the obstruction of justice really quick, okay? Because this is the part that is most damning, okay? Where the obstruction of justice is under federal law, U.S. Code, that the raid didn't catch. Now, just to let you know, when the raid happened, not only do they raid it, but they actually send something to you and your lawyer saying that even if the raid didn't find stuff, you are legally obligated under this investigation to turn over any and all electronics, including but not limited to iPhone, pads, notebooks, tablets. So he knew he had to turn it in. But you guys, it gets worse because, get this, right? Get this. The judge just ruled. This, okay? Diddy's challenges arguing that communications are privileged, all right? And that was communications between his assistant, who's rumored to be KK, because she was his assistant at the time, and she would be the only one that had Tinny Garagos' number. Diddy was arguing they were privileged. They said the court has reviewed the parties' arguments and authorities as well as the communications at issues substantially for the reasons set forth in the filter team's reply brief. The court finds that the communications are not privileged under any of the doctrines that Combs invokes, namely the common interest rule, COVO, or corporate privilege. It is so ordered. You guys, let me say this.
Can y'all hear?
It is not privileged. It is not protected. It is.
Are y'all able to hear since I moved back? Give me a 1 if y'all can hear, please.
That means the government can now fully use those messages. The voice note, the text, the photos on the secret phone, all of it. And worse, they can use it to argue that Diddy was trying to hide evidence,
Of course he
mislead the
was.
investigation, or even obstruct justice. Now, let's get into the obstruction of justice really quick, okay? Because this is the part that is most damning, okay?
Can y'all hear?
Where the obstruction of justice is under federal law, U.S. Code 1512 or 1503, any act that corruptly obstructs, influences, or impedes an official proceeding. You don't need to succeed with obstruction of justice. Just the intent to interfere with an investigation or court proceeding is enough. So you might be asking, so how's Diddy vulnerable? To get to the point. Well, baby, let's line this up for you. Let's line this up. Like Diddy's koala fade. That phone was found after the raids. He didn't turn it over with the dozens of other devices seized from his homes or persons. He describes the phone as from the time me and female one went to that thing that directly links it to the timeline of the alleged conspiracy. He says, I didn't delete nothing. That shows that he
Hi,
knew
Nancy.
what was on the phone, he had possession and control over it, and he could have produced it earlier, but he didn't. He doesn't turn it over when asked, even after the government confronts him, after discovering it from device 2 during his arrest in the hotel room. The filing suggests he stalled or tried to claim it was privilege. That isn't a deliberate attempt to block access to evidence. So why could obstruction be so devastating? Obstruction can add over 5 to 20 years per count. It's a separate felony, depending on the section and the circumstances. And it doesn't require the government to prove the underlying crime, just that Diddy tried to block justice, and they have him on a voice note that he forwarded to himself and KKC's phones, okay? It makes him look like a liar to the jury. Think about it. If Diddy takes a stand, he's not vulnerable to cross-examination using his own voice notes and text. Even if he doesn't testify, the government can argue, look at how he behaved. This is not the behavior of an innocent man. And it also undermines his entire defense. Even if the underlying sex trafficking or conspiracy charges are complex, obstruction is clean, clear, and it's easy to sell to the jury, guys. It frames Diddy as someone trying to cheat the system, not someone just wrongly accused. And here is Diddy's strategic nightmare. The government doesn't even have to find the smoking gun on the phone. Just the fact that he had it, hid it, talked about it like it mattered, and still tried to dodge giving it up, baby, that's enough to file additional obstruction charges or use it as evidence of consciousness of guilt or as an enhancement at sentencing if he's convicted, and I say when, of all the other chargings. Baby, Diddy thought that phone was his ace in the hole, but the government sees it as a bloody glove. If they can convince the jury he tried to hide it, and how would they do that? By his own voice note. And if they convince the jury that he tried to hide it, they just don't have their case. They've got motive, intent, and clean standalone crime. Listen, this is bad for Diddy. Again, if you guys are wondering what was actually said on the voice note that they have, you guys can literally watch that video, okay? But also, it gets worse. This ruling also sets a tone. Diddy just can't slap the word lawyer on something and make it disappear. And if this, and if this is how the judge ruled on these messages, just imagine what else is coming. Now, you guys, the whole found it phone note might not be his salvation. It looks like it's going to be his undoing. So what happens next? Well, now that these messages are unsealed for child use, the prosecution is planning to weave them into the larger case to show Diddy wasn't just involved
They
in the
coming
original
back.
conspiracy,
Yeah, they finna get other people.
was trying to manipulate
What's in that phone?
from the inside of the investigation. You guys, this ruling just took away the one thing Diddy had left to hide behind. Baby, the courtroom is heating up and the walls are closing in. Diddy just didn't lose privilege. He might have lost control of his entire defense. You guys, what do y'all think?
I think his ass is going to prison for a mighty long time. And unless he give up somebody.
For the people that are wondering, if you don't want to go see the other video and you're just wondering what exactly was in those messages, well, let me just leave you with this. This is part of the smoking gun. And again, Diddy got to be the dumbest person in the world to actually leave this. But you know what? He hasn't been moving too smart lately. So let's just leave it at that. He said this: I don't know how in the world, but all of a sudden, this phone, i.e. device 1, just came up, we found in the house. It's the time from when me and female 1 went to this thing. So there's got to be so much stuff on the hard drive of the phone. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to send you a picture of it so you can see and understand. Like, this could be a big breakthrough. Just like we didn't have the phone, and this phone is just sitting there. And there's just data-wise has to be a lot of shit on this phone. I didn't delete nothing out of the phone. I'm going to send you a picture of it now. This is the text, the voice note that he sent, rumored to be KK, of the phone he found. Now, listen, a lot of people are saying that there's a separate level. He was just trying to hype up KK because at this time KK had gone dark on Diddy. This is after his arrest, and people are saying that he might have just been saying that this phone
Okay,
was
y'all,
good
come on, get the likes up. I'm finna listen to something
I
else
get what all these
that's
other
about
arguments
to
are
be
saying, but let's
really
just put a
good, I
bow
guess.
on it. Doesn't matter whether there are things on that phone that help him or
Let's go. Let's go.
Start revealing his face after a point in time.
Yeah, like the 5th or 6th time, he started just to wear the bandana.
One of the
But you could tell that it was, you know.
Okay, and so
S workers.
Train on her together?
Nah, I never did that.
So
that's why I said I never even went to a free. I never even been invited to a freak off unless you define freak off as what was taking place at the Beverly Hilton, the Mondrian, the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Here's one of the bar toys.
So you've been to all the spots?
Pretty much, yeah.
Did it ever seem like because, you know, I don't know if the time right, but did it ever feel like her mouth was too sore to give you head? Because she testified that she would have sores in her mouth sometimes from, you know, doing
Y'all
some of
get the
these
likes
freak
up.
offs. Did you ever see any sores?
I never, hell no. I never.
Did it ever seem like she had pain
Did you ever
from
check?
UTIs? Because she claimed that she had a lot of UTIs from the baby oil and these freak offs. Cassie.
I never experienced that. UTIs, like
44.
I mean,
Leo 44.
It never stank. It never was
Get the lights up.
You know, I didn't sit there and expect it with the flash.
Did you ever put it in the back door? The one that stink?
Oh, nah.
Oh, okay.
Nah,
Did they ever ask? Was that like, you know, would you have if it was more money involved or?
Nah, they see, here's the thing. In Hollywood, I had a lot of success from 21 to 25. I book in everything. But once you start getting a lot of different things, they want you to compromise, because if we're gonna put you in this position, you're gonna be exposed to a whole lot. So we want to make sure that we either have something on you or we don't.
They gotta have something on you.
Oh. You can't pay for my masculinity. You can't. Ain't enough money.
There you go. He said it. They want something on you.
I think they always had a filling out process of what guy is willing to do what.
Do what? And you just didn't give, I'm going to go the extra mile.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Okay, and so one of the requirements was that every time the guy did have to come, or if he didn't, the money would be different. So they also talked about sometimes some men would get this amount, some men would get less, but even the same guy, his payments weren't the same. So were your payments the same every time, or some higher or lower?
I got $3,800 one time, and I figured that the niggas just didn't have the cash.
Okay,
and that was at the I don't know if that there's a hotel I think it's on Rodeo Drive.
Rodeo.
If you're walking down Rodeo, it looks like a storefront, but if you walk inside, it's an actual hotel. It's probably like 20, 25 rooms, and that place is the only place where I got $3,800. So
when you're used to getting 5,000, do you say, nigga, like, where the rest of my money, or you just say, you know, this is cool?
Hell no. Fuck you. What? I mean, you gotta think about it like this.
You getting
like, I was looking at like, yo.
Y'all please hit the like button. Double tap your screen.
This ain't nothing but
I can go back to where we were at.
You know, 5K ain't, but you know, that ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't shit. Especially when I saw the niggas 800, I'm like, what? I wouldn't even got out of the bed for that.
The people in the comments, you know Diddy, but they're asking me, does Diddy have a Tootsie Roll?
What does that mean?
Does he have a small penis? And I don't know. They just want me to ask that. I don't know. I know you probably don't want to answer that, but I have to ask.
I mean, it wasn't like outside of his fist.
It wasn't outside of his fist.
It didn't take 2 bombs, but
so it's not bigger than yours.
Oh no.
Okay, this is great.
It wasn't. What is outside of his fist? Oh, y'all, why am I bottling up my
listen, I'm over
piss?
here cracking up at you. You're funny. Okay, so tell me about the time where you couldn't get hard.
Why am I bottling up my piss?
That was just the first time. See, after that,
okay.
I called my pops, and my pops, they gave me some what they call those things, like Cialis and Viagra. And so I would chew them things like Skittles before I go over there, nigga, and I'll be over there. I'm ready to go, nigga, no matter what. No matter what the situation. Yeah, I was like, I'm never gonna be in this situation again.
So did it just get to the point where you would just, after the first 3 or 4 times, you just go and just drop the drawers? Would you just come free balling because you already knew? Like, at some point, did you like just leave the jeans at home and just come in the shorts? Because you know, and just a t-shirt, just like, all right, let's get to it. Would you pack a bag because you'd be there for hours?
I would always come fresh. Like, you always want to come. I always come fresh. Always, Aqua de Joe. That was my go-to back then. I always wore Tim. Yeah, Aqua de Joe was great. I always wore Tims just because, they light. I move well in them and kick a nigga. You can, you could hide stuff in and conceal things. So it was interesting. I would have died with this, man, had they not put my face everywhere. Do you know how?
Let me ask you this: Would you like, if you could do it all over again? Would you?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, so you enjoyed it?
Hi, Helen.
It's a story.
Okay, listen. First of all, women don't spend money on men. And yeah, Diddy was spending the bread, but 5 racks a pop to pop something that everybody wants already. That's why I tell niggas, like, yo, you niggas is jerking off to chicks that I'm getting paid to bust down. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, I'm actually getting whatever you call me, a sex worker or whatever, nigga. Ain't too many niggas out here that could be sex workers and be like. And that's why I think that they had me separate on the whole, even 50 Cent posted me to his shit. He posted me by myself in the slide because if you look at all the other men, they all look kind of questionable, except for me. When you look at me, you like, yo, what did this nigga do? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it says on the text.
That's why I hit you up, like, what did this nigga do?
And it's funny how they can't, they still haven't been able to identify me. Like, how? Like, with that picture that they put out, that's from like 3 years ago. So that doesn't even cover the time span from then.
Now, you said that Cassie was hitting you up privately when Diddy was out of town. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Oh, she hit me up a couple times. She hit me up once, and she was just like, "Hey, how you doing? Miss you. Hope you're doing okay. What are you doing later?" And I'm like, "Are you supposed to be calling me?" Like, question mark, question mark, question mark. Because to me, first of all, that nigga got $1 billion. He could erase me easily.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's too many men in prison and in the dirt over a piece of ass. So for me, I was happy that I was eating. So I wasn't even gonna. And the second time she hit me up, I didn't respond. So she hit me up with the first time I responded, and she didn't say anything. The second time I didn't respond. I didn't say anything.
Okay, so why did you stop work? So you worked for them for 2012 to 2013, or a course of a year?
It was about 8. It could have been more times, but like I said, they had the weird ass hours, and it became very difficult in relationships to get out the house. Like,
oh, he was in a relationship?
Like, what do you mean you got to go make some money? Like, it's 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m.
So you didn't get to tell your girlfriend, hey, I'm banging Cassie and Diddy's watching?
Eventually, after I told her. I told her after, but I'm pretty transparent with everyone now. I tell the story, and it's funny because nobody believed me. I know nobody believed me because Who fucking will believe that?
Yeah.
Right? But why would I make it up? Like, if I really wanted clout, I could have came out last year when the hotel video came out, when he was knocking her around. Like, like, if you niggas would have never put me out, I wouldn't have came out. You know, that was 13 years ago. So
why are you speaking out? Why? I mean, not speaking out, but why are you talking? Is it because some people are like, well, why is he talking? You know, everybody's doing interviews. So why are you talking?
I'm talking because, A, unless you consider a freak out 3 people, I never participated. I never got no white party ticket, and I was never doped or forced to do anything. And like I said, to me, everything that happened between Cassie and I was consensual. Otherwise, like I said, I wouldn't have been able to perform. You know, I just
Did I hear him say he was in a relationship? Hold on. I can't get past that. I had to go wash my hands. Did he say he was in a relationship?
In court is like you're telling us. So he would direct her, but what I'm not hearing is that she just hated this stuff. Her hopping on you and doing all this and then sucking bitch and all of that. And so how did it, when she was sucking it, she sucked it like she wanted to be there, is what you're saying.
She ain't sucking like it was no like a garlic bread or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a tamarindo. She like, I mean, it was cool, but it wasn't sustained like that. Because after that, the nigga was, like I said, he was going to work like John Henry versus like the machine, like going to work. And then he hopped up and he goes into the back and he walks past me.
Going to work
so
bad like a bunny rabbit?
I'm standing on the bed like this, right?
Yeah.
She's up. He walks by me. The first door was the door.
Back up a little bit so we can see. We can't really.
Hold on, T Sippers. I'm just. Hold on. Is he the one that was standing over the? Is he the funky stinky one? Where Diddy had to get on there and do whatever he called him, bunny rabbit, but he was standing over. Is he the one that she really didn't want to be? What's his name? Is he the bunny rabbit? Now, is he the funky stinky? He couldn't be. Couldn't be. But is he describing Diddy going real fast? Oh, Lord, I see why you need help. Oh, my God. And you don't measure outside of a fist? Why was I over there saying, wait, what? Like, what? Like, what? Whoa, I was like what? Like, rheumatism. So in essence, she was saying that he was about the size of a Tootsie Roll. That's that, right? Because he said he didn't come out of a fist. Ooh. Let's keep listening.
The Gucci belt.
Get my likes up.
Hit the flies. I had to leave our fly bottoms on, fly joints on to work with the multiple. The shit. She pulled my shit out, nigga. She's going to work.
Wait a minute.
Wait. So she just started sucking it.
He was like, yeah, suck that shit, bitch. She like it. I'm like, whoa.
Oh, whoa.
She's like, yes, like, oh my God.
Okay, whoa, y'all.
Like, so she like, oh yeah. Pretty much. I mean, yeah. It was like I said, it was better than I expected because usually them ugly, chicks that are like on that rated level, their head game is fucking trash.
So pretty girls don't give good head.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. Not in my experience.
So did the jeans drop, or she just pulled it through the hole, or like the
jeans drop.
Okay.
Jeans drop. She
so
dropped.
now ass is back is facing Diddy.
Exactly.
Wow.
And that nigga is over there going to work, boy.
Going to town.
I'm feeling.
He was turned on with his pally weapon.
Is it like, was it like was it like a lump shaker?
You know what's funny is I didn't even know that women.
He was not turned on to him, to her. He was turned on to him.
So I ain't struggling. but
so now Diddy is getting the back visual, but directing her, because they said this in court. They said that he would direct it as if it was a scene. So everything that you're saying is corroborating what she's saying. So I'm hearing the Rico, because it's like everything that is being said in court is like you're telling us. So he would direct her, but what I'm not hearing is that she just hated this stuff.
Well, by that time she was into it.
Doing all this and then suck it, bitch, and all of that. And so, how did it, when she was sucking it, she sucked it like she wanted to be there, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
She didn't suck it like it was like a garlic word or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a tamarindo. She like, I mean, it was cool, but it wasn't sustained like that. Because after that, the nigga was, like I said, he was going to work like John Henry versus
like
the machine, like going to work. And then he hopped up and he goes into the back and he walks past me. And so as I'm laying, I'm standing on the bed like this, right?
So he's electric sliding it.
He walks by me. The first door was the door.
Back up a little bit so we can see. We can't really get into it. Let me see. Back. Okay, there we go. Yes.
So
yes.
He walks past me, walks to the bathroom, turns the lights on, walks out, and goes like,
"Can you give us the stomach visual?" Yeah. Oh. Wow. Hey, now, what? And you have. Go ahead.
He comes out the bathroom and he flicks the gold condom in the air, and that shit was in slow motion, bro. I'm telling you, like this shit landed on my right hand. I'm looking at it like, okay, they prepared.
So he just walked past you and threw the condom like, fuck her now.
Right. He's like, you want that dick, bitch? I'm like, oh wow. And excuse the vulgarity. I'm trying to censor it.
I know. At this point, we're not getting monetized. Y'all need to deposit your checks, but keep going with the story.
Oh wow.
So thankfully, it was the ecstasy joint. So they got the extra lube on them. So I'm able to play with my shit. But as I'm getting it on, I'm getting it going. This nigga just started going like overtime, like pow pow, and I just heard him like,
oh wow,
he's beating his dick so hard, and I'm sitting there.
Oh
and it's
wow,
so distracting.
Y'all, is this too much?
I got this fine ass.
Y'all, hold on, tea sippers.
Finally, after a minute,
do we have any virgins? Yeah, this may be too much. Wait. Tea sippers, do I need to go to something else? Are y'all okay? Hi JLM. This is one of the male entertainers, the escorts that Diddy and Jane Doe used a lot, and obviously he's one of Diddy's favorites. He was saying, what's that song? I go to work. He said, ooh. So as I've been telling y'all for a while, hi Helen. As I've been telling y'all for a while, Diddy not into the females. He don't get that aroused with the females. Because if he did, he wouldn't need me. Okay? Unless, now, unless he's sick down there. But is Diddy sick down there? Is Diddy sick down there? Do he have a house in Virginia? House in Virginia. H house I N V for Virginia. Do he have a house in Virginia? Why is he? Because he really don't like having sex with females. Or do he have a flurs? Is he sick? Is that Tootsie Roll sick? Yeah, is this too much? Yeah, I need a 2. I need a 2. If y'all want me to keep going, I need a 2. No 1s. Give me a 2 if I need to keep going with this. Are we entertained with this? Because I've never, I ain't like that Punisher guy. I ain't like him. He wasn't my cup of tea. Because he wasn't honest to me. He wasn't honest to me. Because he thought she was into him. So, of course, he wasn't going to say, and they may not have acted like they, I don't know how you couldn't, I ain't like him. When I found out he thought that she chose him and he was special and he thought that I'm the only one. He thought that he was chosen. He really wanted a relationship with Cassie. To me, at that point, he's still stuck in La La Land. Because he definitely was in La La Land if he thought that they had a connection. So, I ain't like him. I ain't take nothing that he said. Oh. Okay, so Leo said, I said put 2, no 1s. So are you, where did you retract? Y'all, first of all, it was like 170. Y'all, please, I need for y'all to hit the poll, hit the like button, thank you. And do I need to go to something else? Or is this too much? If you want me to stay and continue to listen to him, because I haven't heard it before. Have y'all heard this guy? And this is not the Punisher. He giving some details that collaborates. Jane. Just because you look good doesn't mean you are good. Who said? What that mean, Karen? They kept, are you talking about the escort? They kept paying him $5,000 every walk. Only one time he got $3,800. That could have been when she had been with 2 other guys and he had ran out of cash. He typically only keep 9. He normally pay him 5. She had 2 other guys. Expose everything, honey. She said, put it all out there. You said, AunTeaFee, you said we need to get ready for the trial that's coming up. Baby, because this right here is tea. I need for y'all to support the platform because if Leo, tell him I will shut it down if I don't get these likes up. Come on. Now we finding out that he trying to throw out a whole bunch of stuff. He begging for hot tea. Hey, babe, I should have some super chats and super stickers and everything. This T, this dangling T. AunTeaFee. I can't say dangling. Didn't he dangle that girl off the balcony? Hell, I could say dangling. He said Diddy saw that thing and said, he said he was going hard in the paint. Woo! He was trying to get a 3-pointer. Shh. That's why the walls be all sticky and funky and shh. Oof. Let's go, y'all. He looks good physically, but mentally, he got a woman. He said he couldn't have a relationship with their work hours. So you go home to a woman after you doing that, and we know Diddy don't allow y'all to use protection. What are we doing?
I'm half mass. I'm getting it in, but it ain't like in. The nigga hops up, half dressed, storms out the room. As he leaves the room, he says, "Dick better be hard, loud as fuck." And I was like,
thank you, Max.
It's like Storm. I said, that dick better be hard.
Bruh. Like, I looked down to make sure I had my blade, because I was like, oh, $150 this nigga. I don't give a fuck, nigga.
He said,
I will cut this nigga.
He want your, he want his Peter hard.
First of all,
back up a little bit so we can see. We can't really
Boogie
let me see. Back up.
on down, Max.
Yes. So, yes. He walks past me, walks to the bathroom, turns the lights on, walks out, and goes like,
you give us the stomach visual? Yeah. Oh, wow. Yes. Okay. Now what?
Sweet Jesus.
And you have.
He comes out the bathroom and he flicks the gold condom in the air, and that shit was in slow motion, bro. I'm telling you.
Oh, so he used
this shit landed on my right hand. I'm looking at it like, okay, they prepared.
So he just walked past you and threw the condom like, fuck her now.
Right. He's like, you want that dick, bitch? I'm like, oh wow. And excuse the vulgarity. I'm trying to censor
I know.
it.
At this point, we're not getting monetized. Y'all need to deposit your checks, but keep going with the story.
So
he doesn't have.
Thankfully, it was.
Well, he's a worker.
So
it's all about sex, baby. But he said he in a relationship.
This nigga just started going like overtime. Like pow, pow. And I'm just hearing him like, bro, I'm hearing him. He's beating his dick so hard.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sitting there, and it's so distracting. And I'm like, I got this fine ass like bitch in front of me. And
they say Rico is.
Finally, after a minute,
that's what Tasha K said.
I'm getting it in, but it ain't like.
But I ain't talking about his face. I'm just saying he got a nice body. I don't want no
storms out the room.
Diddy workers.
As he leaves the room, he says, "Dick better be hard, loud as fuck." And I was like,
so he had
I don't want no stripper.
I said,
I don't want no.
Bruh, like I looked down to make sure I had my blade, because I was like, oh, $150 this nigga. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I will cut this nigga.
Nah, they said Rico.
So he had got upset because she was taking to get hard. Yeah. Like what do you think that was for?
He was ready to get off some more.
That ain't no regular type shit, nigga. Like, you gotta think, I went to college, nigga. I never ran no trains or none of that shit. Like,
trains?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not you.
Trains?
Nigga just over here just beating me while I'm trying to knock the chick down. That shit is strange. Yeah. Like, I wasn't ready for that. I came there under the pretense that it's a show. You know, so a show isn't, you know, doing a porno on Doheny.
A bunch of guys doing one chick.
So after he leaves, And he says that.
Oh yeah, I know.
She looks at me like Bambi, and she doesn't say anything, but her
He
eyes tell me everything. She's like, "It's okay."
He look.
So I'm like, "All right, I got you."
Thank you, Karen. He
After
look
about
at.
3 minutes, I'm in there.
He look at. She look at him like Bambi because he done acted a fool. Hold on, cause here come that's.
Nigga hops up.
Hold on, y'all.
Dressed, storms out the room.
Oh
As
yeah.
he leaves the room, he says, "Dick better be hard, loud as fuck." And I was like,
so he had got upset and like stormed out, said that dick better be hard.
bruh, like I looked down to make sure I had my blade because I was like, "Oh, $150 this nigga. I don't give a fuck, dick." I will.
So here we go with the. This is
I will cut this nigga.
coercion. This is what?
So he had got upset because she was taking to get hard. Like what do you think that was for?
I mean, that ain't no regular type shit, nigga. Like, you gotta think, I went to college, nigga. I never ran no trains or none of that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not used.
So was other people there?
Just over here just
Or is this the one where two other guys have been there before?
Chick down, that shit is strange.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't ready for that. I came there under the pretense that it's a show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so a show isn't, you know, doing a porno on Doheny. But so after he leaves and he says that, she looks at me and she looks at me like Bambi and she doesn't say anything.
Like she didn't really want to do it.
Everything. She's like, "It's okay." And so I'm like, "All right, I got you."
What you mean, Donnell Shaw? Who trying you now?
After about 3 minutes, I'm in there. Man, I got the legs. Wow, I'm getting it. It's quenching up, Mountain Dew.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So you finally got him to stand up. Did Diddy walk back in the room?
No. So check this out. After about 20 pumps, I'm really like, I'm just getting in it. I hear the same noises, but I don't see the nigga walk back in the room. And I have to see you walk back in the room because I'm facing that way. And the pussy's not very good. Where, nigga, I'm blinded. No, nigga, you got a trap door. The nigga has a trap door in the house, bro. He ended up behind me.
He just appeared. You know he does that. That nigga just comes.
He got a trap door in the house.
Like
do the fast know that?
Like the leprechaun beating this shit again, nigga. And I'm sitting there.
So he left one way out the front, but then he didn't. But then he appeared behind you
again.
Ooh.
After I'm
trying to take your ass. But go ahead.
He was sitting down. So
Oh wow.
So after that, she, you know, I don't, like I said, I ain't never really made no shit come in 90 seconds. So she either faked it or she just ain't had it before. I don't know. But she came in 90 seconds.
Like
after he came back in, I was only in it for like a minute and a half.
And she was hooping and hollering, or was she like out of it?
Nah, she was just, you know, making her noises. She wasn't loud and shit like.
Oh, so it was like she didn't want to, like, what I'm saying is though, because she would say she would just let it happen because she didn't want to be there. So was she just or was it, oh, daddy, baby? Or was that
she moaned. Like I said, if she wasn't feeling it, if I got the type of energy, I'm not gonna, man, I don't.
Thank you, Max to the Boogie.
No way.
For
because I don't.
100.
I don't want to be in this
100.
situation.
Jules, thank you.
If a bitch
Thank
like
you,
me, a
thank
bitch
you.
must not like men. You know what I'm saying? I say what I say again. But I never got that feeling. Especially being that she hit me up a couple of times when he wasn't even in the fucking United States. And I'm like, are you supposed to be fucking...
Well, hold on. We're going to get to that. So after, we're going to get to that. So
I thought she said she only did it when Diddy was there.
What is Diddy doing now?
Busting. Then he starts commentating again. Asking her like, so you want that nigga to come on your face or come on your stomach?
What?
So he was
And what
commentating.
are you doing after she nutted? So you just kind of standing there like, now what?
I'm like, usually I'm the type of nigga where
Are y'all
I go to the
hear
bathroom and wash my
orchestrating
hands
this?
before I take the rubber off.
Okay.
So I'm quick thinking. I'm like, okay.
Y'all, he out of here.
I reach out and grab one of the towels.
Let me add the he not the Punisher.
You know what I'm
Oh, but
saying?
let me
So
add
I'm
him
going
to
to
the
work,
title.
nigga. I'm a lefty. You know what I
Me
mean?
too.
So had to go to work. I was trying to think of anything, but the crazy part was it was harder for me to nut than to get it up. Like I was just sitting there, just like, fuck, hurry up. Then I felt it in the kneecap. You know, once they hit the kneecap, it's over with. So that shit, that shit Pompeii her, nigga.
Wait. So Diddy said, where do you want it? And where did she say?
On my stomach, daddy.
And so so she was calling you daddy or Diddy daddy?
Diddy.
Or both? Oh, Diddy. So so was she laying on her back? Was she on her knees?
She was always missionary except for when she got up there with the oil on me in the beginning.
So she's laying on the bed, missionary, and you standing over. Are you like one leg in it? Or are you like over it? Like, how are you doing it?
Like this.
Just right there.
Like this. But when I was jerking off?
Yes, about to shoot on her.
Oh, when I was jerking off, I was standing over her. And that shit just like Pompeii her, like probably from here down to here. And I was mad because she had
shot it everywhere. It's like it was a shoot or like a ooze.
It was like a shotgun splatter, nigga. So, wow. Yo. But see, me being a gentleman, I reached down and tried to grab one of and she's like, oh no, you shower now. And I'm like,
But you went out for a minute. Your thing glitched. So you said,
no.
Go ahead.
No,
so
yeah, this is crazy.
The towel, what happened?
Oh, so I grabbed a towel and I went to try to wipe the shit off, right? And she's like, "Oh no, that's okay. You can go take a shower now." And I'm like, "Okay, nigga. You talk about one of the quickest showers a nigga ever took. I didn't even
we breaking
my
up.
socks back on.
We losing
it. Gotta drop my feet.
Hold on, bring it back. I'm gonna drop you and bring it back because we lose them just a little bit. It's service, just a little bit grating. Okay, we brought you back. Okay, so it was the quickest shower. There you go. So it's the quickest shower you ever took. Okay. Go ahead.
Quickest shower I ever took. I get dressed and I'm thinking like, oh shit, like it's like 12:30 p.m. I've been gone all day. I'm thinking like, damn, I turn this phone back on. Whoever's
you got a girlfriend back home.
Exactly.
And so you've been gone since 3 a.m. till now 12 p.m.
12 p.m. almost, right.
Oh, wow,
so
no.
I run to the car. No, wait. So after I put my shit on, I open the door, and like the shining, she's standing at the door with a robe on. $5,100 bills. I look down at my peripheral. I didn't actually look down like that. I'm looking at her. I snatched the money. I know what $1,500 for. Like, this ain't $1,500. Can we call you again? I said, absolutely. Call me anytime, goddammit. Put that shit in my
How
pocket.
much was it?
5 racks.
5,100 bills.
$5,100 bills. That's how I bought my first house, man. I saw them a total of 8 times.
Okay, so before we get to the few times, because we left at the shotgun in the shower, because the rumor have it is Diddy plays with the finishings, like and he.
That's what my agent told me when I got back to the car. I called him like, yo, Vic, you ain't gonna. Yo, he a cuck. I'm like, what's that? And he's explaining to me, and he's like, yo, I'm like, dang, that's weird as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
So how does that make you feel?
Oh my God!
That he went like played with it, like rubbed it all over him. Because then she would take it and rub it all on him, and they would do a round.
Hey, that's just I mean, whatever. That's the thing.
Wow.
You're ready for it.
So through the 8 times, has he ever asked you to deliver on him?
No. Nah, but I have heard stories where, like, the guy that put me on, and I didn't believe him until it happened to me. He told me that he's actually standing there while Diddy was hitting it from the back and smack him on the hips, like, get that shit, nigga, get that shit, nigga.
Oh.
And he would get frustrated and leave out the room.
Oh,
Juror,
Diddy would be hitting on the sales worker booty?
the homie told me about, he told me about this, and I'm like, that was one of the ground rules that I said. I told her, I said, look, I don't do meat to meat, no ass, no vagina. I don't want to see a nigga in front of me. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, it's none of that. He just likes to watch. He's a voyeur. I said, okay, cool.
So you never dapped Diddy up. You never really talked to him. He just told you, yo, better stay hard. That was it. And
that was in the beginning. The first like 4 times. That was the only thing that he ever said to me. Like, whoa, that he said out loud. That wasn't directed to her.
Oh yeah, this is
like, I think the last 2 times.
Did he start revealing his face after a point in time?
Yeah, like the 5th or 6th time, he started just to wear the bandana. Like, you could tell that it was, you could tell it was puff.
Okay, and so did you guys ever run a train on her together?
Nah, I never did that.
So
that's why I said I never even went to a free. I never even been invited to a freak off, unless you define freak off as what was taking place at the Beverly Hilton, the Mondrian, the Beverly Hills Hotel, all the venues.
So you've been to all the spots?
Pretty much, yeah.
Did it ever seem like because I don't know if the time right, but did it ever feel like her mouth was too sore to give you head? Because she testified that she would have sores in her mouth sometimes from, doing so many of these different freak offs. Did you ever see any sores?
I never, hell no.
Did it ever seem like she had pain from UTIs? Because she claimed that she had a lot of UTIs from the baby oil and these freak offs. Cassie.
Oh, he's talking about Cassie.
I never experienced that. UTIs, like, her pussy never stank. I mean, her nanny never stank. It never was I didn't sit there and expect it with the flash.
Did you ever put it in the back door? The one that stink?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Did they ever ask? Was that like, would you have if there was more money involved, or?
Nah, they, see, here's the thing. In Hollywood, I had a lot of success from 21 to 25. I'm booking everything. But once you start getting a lot of different things, they want you to compromise, because if we're going to put you in this position, you're going to be exposed to a whole lot. So we want to make sure that we either have something on you or we don't. And me, you can't pay for my masculinity. You can't ain't enough money in the world. You know what I mean? So I think they always had a filling out process of what guy is willing to do what.
Do what? And you just didn't give, I'm going to go the extra mile.
Oh, no.
Okay, and so one of the requirements was that every time the guy did have to come, or if he didn't, the money would be different. So they also talked about sometimes some men would get this amount, some men would get less, but even the same guy, his payments weren't the same. So were your payments the same every time, or was some higher or lower?
I got 3,800 one time, and I figured that the niggas just didn't have the gas.
Okay.
And that was at the I don't know if there's a hotel I think it's on Rodeo Drive. If you're walking down Rodeo, it looks like a storefront. But if you walk inside, it's an actual hotel. It's probably like 20, 25 rooms. And that place is the only place where I got 3,800. So that was
when you're used to getting 5,000, do you say, nigga, like, where the rest of my money? Or you just say, this is cool?
Hell no. Fuck you. What? I mean, you gotta think about it like this. Like, I was looking at like, yo, I'm about to be able to put a down payment on a crib. This ain't nothing but a drop in a bucket to him. You know, 5K ain't, but you know that ain't shit. That ain't shit. Especially when I saw the niggas 800, I'm like, what? I wouldn't even got out of the bed for that.
The people in the comments, you know Diddy, but they're asking me, does Diddy have a Tootsie Roll?
What does that mean?
Does he have a small penis?
Did I rewind it?
And I don't know. They just want me to ask that. I don't know. I know you probably don't want to answer that, but I can ask.
I mean, it wasn't like outside of his fist.
Oh yeah, that.
It didn't take 2 bombs, but I mean,
so it's not bigger than yours.
No.
Okay, this is crazy. Okay, so okay. Listen, I'm over here cracking up at you. You're funny. Okay, so.
Oh, I don't think he lying. He collaborating a whole bunch of stuff that was said in court.
Oh man, that was just the first time. See, after that,
oh, okay.
I called my pops, and my pops gave me some what they call those things, like Cialis and Viagra. And so I would chew them things like Skittles before I go over there, nigga, and I'd be over there. I'm ready to go, nigga, no matter what. No matter what the situation. Yeah, I was like, I'm never gonna be in this situation again.
So did it just get to the point where you would just, after the first 3 or 4 times, you just go and just drop the drug? Would you just come free balling because you already knew? Like, at some point, did you like just leave the jeans at home and just come in the shorts? Because you know, and just a t-shirt, just like, all right, let's get to it. Would you pack a bag because you'd be there for hours?
I would always come fresh. Like you always want to come. I always come fresh. Always, Aqua de Joe. That was my go-to back then. I always wore Tim. Yeah, Aqua de Joe, but I always wore Tims just because they light. I move well in them. Kick a nigga. You can you could hide stuff in it, conceal things. So it was interesting. I would have never been. I would have died with this, man, had they not put my face everywhere. You know how?
Let me ask you this: Would you like, if you could do it all over again? Would you?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, so you enjoyed it? It's a story.
Okay, listen. First of all, women don't spend money on men. And yeah, Diddy was spending the bread, but 5 racks a pop.
Diddy was spending the bread. Y'all hear that?
Everybody wants already.
He giving the detail.
Niggas like, yo, you niggas is jerking off to chicks that I'm getting paid to bust down. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, I'm actually getting whatever you call me, a sex worker or whatever, nigga. Ain't too many niggas out here that could be sex workers and be like. And that's why I think that they had me separate on the whole. Even 50 Cent posted me to his shit. He posted me by myself in the slide because if you look at all the other men, they all look kind of questionable, except for me. When you look at me, you like, yo, what did this nigga do? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it says on the
That's why I hit you up. Like, what did this nigga do?
And it's funny how they still haven't been able to identify me. Like how? Like that picture that they put out, that's from like 3 years ago. So that doesn't even cover the time span from there.
Now you said that Cassie was hitting you up privately when Diddy was out of town. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Oh, she hit me up a couple times. She hit me up once, and she was just like, "Hey, how you doing? Miss you. Hope you're doing okay. What are you doing later?" And I'm like, "Are you supposed to be calling me?" Like question mark. Because to me, first of all, that nigga got $1 billion. He could erase me easily.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's too many men in prison and in the dirt over a piece of ass. So for me, I was happy that I was eating. So I wasn't even gonna. And the second time
y'all, I need y'all to double tap the screen, hit the like button, pop Diddy on the nose, like.
And she didn't say anything. The second time, I didn't respond. I didn't say anything.
Okay, so why why did you stop work? So you worked for them for 2012 to 2013, or a course of a year?
It was about about eight. It could have been more times, but like I said, they had the weird ass hours, and it became very difficult.
He had a
In
girlfriend.
relationships to get out the house. Like, yo, what do you mean you gotta go? Like, what do you mean you gotta go make some money? Like, it's 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m.
So you didn't get to tell your girlfriend, hey, you know, I'm banging Cassie and Diddy's watching.
Eventually, after I told her after, but I'm pretty transparent with everyone now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I tell the story, and it's funny because nobody believed me. I know nobody believed me because who fucking will believe that? Right? But why would I make it up? Like, if I really wanted clout, I could have came out last year when the hotel video came out, when he was knocking her around. Like,
Oh, was he the one in the hotel?
if you niggas would have never put me out, I wouldn't have came out.
Oh, he was the one in the hotel.
So why are you speaking out? Why? I mean, not speaking out, but why are you talking? Is it because some people are like, well, why is he talking? You know, everybody's doing interviews. So why are you talking?
I'm talking because, unless you consider a freak off 3 people, I never participated. I never got no white party ticket, and I was never doped or forced to do anything. And like I said, to me, everything that happened between Cassie and I was consensual. Otherwise, like I said, I wouldn't have been able to perform.
Nobody didn't say it wasn't consensual.
I just...
You just didn't know what was going on behind the scenes.
I got people from Connecticut all the way down to Florida hitting me up like, yo, son, I just saw you on TMZ. Like, who are you, nigga? Like, I done transformed. You know, I was doing motivational speaking, telling my life story, telling how I came from, you know, from nothing to something. Pretty much every situation for every black child in America. You know, single mother.
Yeah.
Section 8. You know, I didn't realize I was poor until I was in 6th grade. You know, when I didn't have the cross colors. I had Miller's Outpost. I had Anchor Blue.
So let me ask you this. So do you think that what Diddy has done is a crime, number one? And then 2, when you were with them in their aura or their orbit, did you get any signs that he was abusing her? Because we see the footage, we know that he was, but did it ever give he was beating her around that time, even though she says that he was?
She never had, that was the one thing that I noticed. Her body was flawless, bro. And when I say, like, you know, some chicks will have like chicken pox marks and, you know, knife. She was perfect, boy. She looked like a filter. Wow. And I remember she had a diamond pair that hung from her top of her belly button to the bottom, and it was probably about a carat and a half, and it was like the cherry on top because she came out with the all white like swirly, halfway swirled around, and this part was all naked. And I was like, bro, she used to have the outfits, though. I ain't gonna lie.
I ain't heard nothing that it sound like he lied about. What you think he lied about?
Or was it just always missionary? Would you ever hit her daughter?
No, later on. The first time it was missionary though.
Was y'all kissing and stuff?
No, I didn't kiss. I don't kiss.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't kiss.
No kissing. And you never ate her out?
Oh, fuck. I might as well bareback you. If I'm eating you out, I might as well hit it raw.
Okay, and so let me ask you now. So, you know, with the Jane Does of it all and the different women now, is that something that these people in the industry they're doing now? Like, is this a thing? And is Diddy just the one that got caught? Because for us that don't know, or we're just not in that life, is this a whole scene of a cuckold scene? What is this?
Do you know what a Hollywood is? The tree Hollywood?
No, tell me. Educate us.
So a Hollywood tree is what they would make the sorcerer's wands out of.
Here we
It's
go.
magic. Hollywood means magic. It's smoke and mirrors. So
Oh.
yes, it is. The first party that I went to in Hollywood, it was after I did Coach Carter, and I saw Eddie Murphy and Johnny Gill tongue kissing.
What?
And this is like out in public. So a lot of the things that y'all think.
So what Nicole?
Like I'd be worth, like I said.
Oh wow.
million, probably more than that if I was willing to compromise. But you know, I'd rather be broke, nigga. Fuck it.
So is this the only celebrity woman that you cracked with the man watching, or has it? We don't got to get into names.
I've had.
Yeah, y'all know that Eddie Murphy and Johnny Gill. That was why Nicole left him.
Black chick. She's a former dancer, but she married a guy who was very influential in the golf.
Oh wow.
So she would basically. I did her 45th birthday party. She took a liking to me, so she would show me off to all her friends because she did eyelashes for them. Mm-hmm. So she essentially would be like, they'll be like, damn, how much is that rodeo? Or like,
so they call you a piece of meat.
Yeah.
Do you ever just feel like a black dick?
I have, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that feel?
You know what? It's like this. A lot of men go through life invisible.
Yeah. Okay.
So for me, you know, it's always good and bad in everything.
Okay.
You know, it's always good and bad. It can get me in trouble because, like most men, most men we're weak, but I'm weak and I'm able to still, you know, maneuver in there. And, you know, I've been good the last 3 years. She looked like a filter.
Wow.
And I remember she had a diamond.
Hollywood is a form of sorcery.
And it was probably about a carat
Sword.
and a half. And it was just
Smoke and mirrors.
It was like the cherry on top because she came out. She came out with the all white, like swirly, halfway swirled around, and this part was all naked. And I was like, bro, she's having.
Karen, I don't know how old you are, but honey, that came out a long time ago from Nicole Murphy when she said, hold on, because I don't know how old you are, honey, and I don't care nothing about no Eddie Murphy documentary. I'm telling you what God loves, and he loves the truth. And that came out years ago from Nicole Murphy when she was married to him. Was that documentary before then or after? So you don't remember when she said that she left him because she didn't know what he was into, men or women, because Johnny Gill had lived in the back house, the outhouse, the mama's house in the back of their house. He had his own little apartment in their back. No, it didn't involve Kevin Hart. This is what Nicole Murphy said about Eddie Murphy as of the reason why she left him. He spent more time with Johnny Gill in the little apartment house. Well, what you mean you don't believe that he was into that? You don't remember when he got caught with the transit in the car? That was before Nicole, if memory serves me correctly. But she said that's why she left. Got caught with a... There we go. Human being. So I don't know where you been, Karen Merchant, baby. But that was... have been out. Okay, so what you mean you don't think he into that type stuff? What type of stuff you talking about? Because him and Johnny Gill, it was before. Okay. And then she left him because of Johnny Gill. He had an apartment in the little back house. He had his own little. She forgot. She don't know my memory. Oh, okay. Keep going. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm just shocked to hear him say he saw it with his own eyes. And y'all can say what y'all want to say about him. But his story has collaborated what was said. And to hear him narrating, that's why Tracy Edmond left Eddie because of Johnny Gill. Now, I didn't know that, but I remember Nicole. Tracy Edmond, they really wasn't married, but they dated. They went over there somewhere and got married, right? They didn't get married in the U.S. I mean, so their marriage, did it count? But I remember Nicole, because I think she discussed that when they had their little ex-wives little reality show. Ira Kelly, Prince ex-wife. I'm glad I'm sitting down. Holy crap. And you know, it's funny that he said this because I was watching the Johnny Gill birthday over the holiday, and he was just all over the place, and it was star-studded. What's the old guy? Jeffrey Osborne, the boxer, Sugar Ray. Was Kevin Hart that? No. Anthony Anderson, Shanice, a whole bunch of old school people. Judge Matthews. It was a whole bunch of people there, though. But he was all over the place. He was just, and when I was looking at him, I was like, dude, why you don't have a girlfriend? Why are you always just so, just love me the right way, stroke? Let me get back to it. Woo!
The first time it was mission everywhere.
Was y'all kissing and stuff?
No, I didn't get that on this.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
No kissing. And you never ate her out.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know. Oh.
I might as well bareback you. If I'm eating you out, I might as well eat it raw.
Okay, and so let me ask you now. So, you know, with the Jane Does of it all and the different women now, is that something that these people in the industry they're doing now? Like,
Eddie to work.
And is Diddy just the one that got caught? Because for us that don't know, we're just not in that life. Is this a whole scene of a cuckold scene? What is this?
Do you know what a Hollywood is? The tree, Hollywood?
No, tell me. Educate us.
So a Hollywood tree is what they would make the sorcerer's wands out of. It's magic. Hollywood means magic.
Well, I'm tuned in to your part. Thank you, Karen.
The first party that I went to in Hollywood, it was after I did Coach Carter. And I saw Eddie Murphy and Johnny Gill tongue kissing. And this is like out in public. So a lot of the things that y'all
Out
think,
in public.
they do crack. Like I'd be worth, like I said, $35 million, probably more than that if I was willing to compromise. You know, I'd rather be broke, nigga. Fuck it.
So
if he was willing to
is this the
sleep with the men.
For a celebrity woman that you cracked with the man watching, or has it? We don't got to get into names.
I've had okay, so I met a lady who's she's a black chick. She's a former dancer, but she married a guy who was very influential in the golf. So
in golf,
she would basically, I did her 45th birthday party. She took a liking to me, so she would show me off to all her friends because she did eyelashes for them. Mm-hmm. So she essentially would be like, they'll be like, damn, how much is that rodeo? Or
so they just call you a piece of meat.
Yeah.
Do you ever just feel like a black dick?
Ah.
I have, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that feel?
You know what? It's like this. A lot of men go through life invisible.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that ain't
for
your
me,
issue.
You know, it's always good and bad in everything.
Okay.
You know, it's always good and bad. It can get me in trouble because, like most men, we're weak, but I'm weak and I'm able to still, maneuver in there. And I've been good the last 3 years. Been good.
Okay, and so they talking about get back to Eddie and Johnny. When you saw Eddie and Johnny tongue kissing, was it like, what was that really quick? give us a,
I was like the
walked in?
No, I was walking down the stairs because I was just checking out. It was in the Hollywood Hills, so I was walking down the stairs, and they were kissing at the bottom of the banister, like. And I'm like, damn, the nutty professor really is nutty.
Mm.
like he really is, like, and they were going at it, and like, for real, like swallowing tongues. So it's crazy because I tell people, like, even now.
Oh, wow.
Even being a physical stature, I still get way more men that will come up to me and ask me questions.
And you're in LA too, so I'm sure the white men are really going crazy.
Oh, wow.
Hollywood white men to go bananas, huh?
Yeah, they go.
How much for the BBC? So,
this is crazy.
Are you stripping now? Are you still entertaining? Is that over?
The last thing that the thing that I still do is I still do paint parties to where, like, you just take your shirt off. It'll be like a group of 20 women where they'll be sipping paint, they'll be sipping wine, and they'll paint you, and you just interact with them.
But we don't get the bottom half. You just
like I don't do that no more.
Okay, because I noticed you have a ring on your finger. So does that mean you're married now?
Oh, wow.
Nah, that doesn't mean that I'm married. I actually just got an annulment. Forced her into an annulment. She was a liar. She filed a restraining order on me, and she didn't show up to court the last 2 days. She was scared.
What you mean, a restraining order? So you put your... Oh, Lord.
I did my shahada in 2021, so I'm Muslim now. Okay. And it just reminds me that I have someone who's holding me down, who's really been there through a lot. And so I always want to, make sure that I remember that. So I'm not married technically, but mentally I am.
Okay, but you are spoken for right now.
Right. Yeah.
And so, what is that like? Do you know? I mean, how is that? Especially now with the new surges of you and people want to talk, and how having to hear these stories, and this is kind of like, it's a new thing now for you. Like, are you going to write a book? How is she dealing with this, and how does that work?
She, what's so crazy is that people want to hear my mother died.
Oh my God.
Y'all please double tap.
Last year. The day, on April 8th, she died April 7th. And I didn't cry until I was able to get representation because they killed her. She died of sepsis, but they told me it was heart failure. I had to pay AGs for autopsy to figure all this stuff out. But, alhamdulillah, God is good, and I was able to get through that. But finally, when I got representation, it was such a relief,
I don't want to hear this.
So right now, what I'm really doing is I'm just focusing on teaching the mental.
She was super dope. I had a good time.
Okay, so
seems like
let me. Can we get back? I'm almost out of juice. How did y'all? Ooh, how was that for you? I think that was very entertaining. We got the tea, baby. Woo! I think you lying about. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just shocked. What is this? Was this new?
Testify about getting out of tickets just
Hold
by
on.
mentioning Diddy.
I think this popped up wrong. Hold on, y'all. I'm almost done. Yeah, I'm almost done. Ooh, I was not expecting that. Dang-a-line. Dang-a-line. Jing-a-line. All that dangling. Oh, let's get this tea. I guess this tea.
But yeah, let's see what's going on today.
A freak off that was so horrifying, it traumatized everyone.
Diddy is not the only one who had them freak offs. If Diddy is, you know, and Cassie definitely is a victim, Diddy ain't the only person going down.
Diddy for sure ain't the only one. We just heard 50 Cent baby mama testify at the trial. There was other rappers having freak offs. But I don't think there's gonna be another freak off Rico. I feel like the message already got sent.
Oh yeah, I do.
Got this Rico 'cause
I don't think freak offs were the problem. I think Diddy was the problem. In my opinion, I think the freak offs, the girls were even. One of the girls said that she was enjoying some of that weird shit they were doing. So
Diddy started thinking he was too big for his britches. He started thinking he was bigger and above the secret society and began to go against their agenda. I feel like they sent Diddy a good enough message that nobody else is gonna follow in Diddy's steps.
They done already did it.
Story time about how I unintentionally attended a freak off. I think it's crazy because people think that only Diddy started these freak offs, but I'm pretty sure anybody in the industry can tell you exactly how often freak offs happen. No, this was back in like 2016.
bro, I think white people invented freak offs, bro. You black people just made it really fucking stupid. It's like white people are doing freak offs right now.
Facts.
They're just not fucking weird, and they're not like they go about their lives. Like all these bus drivers and teachers and all these, they're shut the fuck up and go.
What was it called? The casting couch.
Okay, weird ass.
It was in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm gonna get straight to the point. Invited out by a group of people that were in the entertainment industry because I was a dancer and I had pools and connects. I had girls, so like anybody else that was in that time, everybody wanted to go to Atlanta. Atlanta was the Black Hollywood. So I go to this restaurant, nice ass restaurant. I made a comment that I was cold, and these people literally brought me a personal heater. Like, I mean, to me, that was something because I was young and
swinging.
It's like, okay, little old me. Okay. So fast forward that night, it was 3 men, and this is at the hotel. It was 3 men. I was family with one of them. So mind you, I was supposed to have 2 separate rooms. Everybody was in one room. I'm the only female in the room. That was the first red flag.
I think they had to tell the concierge nigga that she was family because they obviously don't want the people downstairs to think that 4 guys are ramming her holes.
I didn't care because I just knew at the end of the day, like, I could call up a female and it's Atlanta, like, come on now. Okay, we go to this party that I wasn't even intentionally invited to. It was like I was just a +1. Which I did know the dude very well. It wasn't like he was a stranger. No, we had done plenty of shows together with I don't want to name drop, but like I am just to show credentials. It was Jessica Dime, Melissa, Stevie. It was
Jessica Dime. Oh, okay.
Okay. At the time, Love and Hip Hop was just starting out. So later on that night, it was a party, and it was a masquerade party. Did not know too much about masquerade parties. I just knew that it was this big mansion masquerade party, and everybody had to wear masks. So walking in, everybody had the type of mask that you wear to your face. If you didn't have one or brought one, they had them like at the table as soon as you walked through the door.
This is very similar to Hollywood swinger parties. They wear masquerade
Thank you.
so they can conceal
Thank you, Flacco. Jesus Christ.
their identity because literally is a free for all, bro. Everyone.
White people invented this shit, and then you black people literally took it and made it weird and invited drugs and cameras and all types of dumb shit. It's like you are dumb as hell.
Is engaged with everyone. Everyone is intimate with everyone. If you
Bro, I think I was invited to a freak off, but guess what? I was too busy not giving a fuck about that at the time. So, but freak offs are normal, gang. I really do think they're normal. I really think they're very normal. I just think once you invite cameras and drugs, that's when shit gets stupid.
Go to that special section of the particular party that's going on. It's like a locked up, closed off section that only some people can go to. When you go there, everyone is intimate with everyone, bro. All right. So if a man tells you he's straight and he in there, cut it out, man. All right. The cheeks getting dug and all type of stuff, man. Now I've never been to one, but I know people who's been to one. Kazumi has had parties like this before, where it's a huge house and it's literally everyone is banging. Like when you walk into the,
I'm pretty sure Adam 22's wife has done like 3 freak offs. Like, what are we talking about, bro?
You see literally everyone is engaging.
You don't think Adam 22 and his sex worker wife literally is not like, come on, bro? Like, what are we talking about,
Right
bro?
now, some of my ex-coworkers have been there before, right? I don't know if current coworkers, I know Jumper has been there, but I do know some ex-coworkers have been there before, right? Because Zumi has invited me and No Jumper before. I never went, correct? Because I'm not interested. But yeah, this is very reminiscent of Hollywood swinger parties.
Mind you, you did have to.
Bro, even fucking Flacco, for Christ's sake, has been invited to a freak off. If I've been invited, Flacco's been invited. Bro, I wouldn't be shocked if someone tried to nail my goddamn mother, gang. It's like, what if my mom got invited to one of these goddamn things? So I feel like, if you have never been invited to a freak off, you are a lame
really trying to fix this
nigga, bro. Because even Flacco's been invited.
Like a secret word to get in, and once you get in, it was literally just like a
trying to
regular
fix
mansion, ballroom type of thing. So this is where you get crazy, right? So
there's a clip of
Double
Drake's
tap the
alleged
screen,
shooter
please.
top 5 hanging out in a bedroom full of naked, like, blonde girls. I'm like, brother, freak offs are like average, gang.
my
Average.
homeboy, or whoever you want to call him, he's an older dude. I'm younger. You probably would have thought the nigga was my sugar daddy, but if you know, you know. And for the people in the zip, if you know the only man that I was hanging around, and now he's locked up, you do the math. And no, it's not Diddy. Be for real. So anyway, this whole mansion party, it was like, you wouldn't have known if it was any celebrities there, like I said, because everybody had on masks. And I don't think this had anything to do with it, like, no. So the guy that I'm cool with, he wanders off and he leaves me because there was like this back room. It had a red rope and it was security standing there. And if you did not know anybody, like, you had to know somebody to get in this back section. Okay, that's like alcohol, but y'all, the alcohol was not the same type of alcohol that I drink now, and I was not a drinker until I started dancing. So it really makes me think now how much I honestly did not remember. Like, I don't know, minutes. He comes back. He says immediately, y'all, we gotta go. Y'all, when I tell you, when we get back to the room, this man acts like he has seen a fucking ghost. And he literally told me, I'm trying to get straight to the point as possible. There were Asian kids that were performing sexual acts on Caucasian men. There were Vietnamese or Asian kids, again, serving Uggs on train.
Oh my God. I am so sorry. I didn't know freak offs had kids. Wait a second.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Munger and Hall. Okay, how am I going to exit today? Yeah, we got to get ready for tomorrow. It's a lot going on. Trying to see if I sent this. To myself. Hold on. Again, happy Father's Day. To call. I don't know what you're saying. Where's this one? Oh, let's hear this one before we go.
JC was engaged in the same thing that people look down on R. Kelly for. Jay-Z was engaged in the same type of activity. So my only point was, why y'all still honor him? Because y'all think he didn't, or because y'all don't know? The facts was out there. Like his artist Foxy Brown, you know what I mean? Even his business partner Dame Dash said he never wanted to sign Foxy Brown or didn't want dealings with her because of her age. But Jay-Z signed her. He had songs with her where they talking about sex and stuff like that, and she was only 15 at the time, and Jay-Z was 27. And Jay-Z has a son named Rymir who been coming forward and been in the media a lot lately, and he been fighting for a paternity test for a while now, you know. And if Jay-Z was to ever take the paternity test, I'm pretty sure that Rymir would come out to be his son. But that's not the issue. The issue is that when you go back in time and you see when Rymir was born, and you see how old Rymir's mother was.
What do you mean? How long does this have to go on?
He had an underage girl pregnant all the way back then. So, of course, he's not going to want to take the paternity test. You know what I mean? Because that's proof that you were a grown man with an underage girl. The same thing that people look down on R. Kelly for, Jay-Z.
Look, don't lie. But I wanted to play. Is this one? Yes. Let's go, baby.
Something is in there. A lot of positions that I think I was put in where I had to make the tough decisions in my life about who I would be. I was 13 years old, and being 13, having that type of exposure, it was cool to go to Howard Homecoming with Puff. It was great to be able to go to Club USA or the Supper Club with Puffy in that time, or the Tunnel. But these are places that a 13-year-old probably should not be. And most kids will be excited about it. Most kids are trying to figure out how to be around hot girls, pretty girls. I'm around grown women, and I'm seeing them do things and have experiences that I'm not quite ready for. I think that he was just trying to show me the lifestyle. However, that's not what I was there for. I was there because I wanted a career, man. So we would fight, we would tussle. More than often, I think Puffy would say, man, you gotta chill, just a little bit too intense. You gotta relax. No, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. 13 years old, hanging on this man as though I am the manager. I am spokesperson for Usher. And I'm telling him, look, you're gonna put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there, you got Craig Mack in there. So you're gonna make me a priority too. I'm not here to party with you. I don't wanna go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? I think as a kid, I realized, hey, look, that's not my ring. That's not my moment. That's not my bottle. That's not my drink. That's not my celebration. So I'm not here to celebrate. I wanted people to be excited about me the way that they were excited about him. Something is in there. A lot of positions that I think I was put in where I had to make the tough decisions in my life about who I would be. I was 13 years old, and being 13, having that type of exposure, it was cool to go to Howard Homecoming with Puff. It was great to be able to go to Club USA or the Supper Club with Puffy in that time, or the Tunnel. But these are places that a 13-year-old probably should not be. And most kids will be excited about it. Most kids are trying to figure out how to be around hot girls, pretty girls. I'm around grown women, and I'm seeing them do things and have experiences that I'm not quite ready for. I think that he was just trying to show me the lifestyle. However, that's not what I was there for. I was there because I wanted a career, man. So we would fight, we would tussle. More than often, I think Puffy would say, man, you gotta chill, just a little bit too intense. You gotta relax. No, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. 13 years old, hanging on this man as though I am the manager. I am spokesperson for Usher. And I'm telling him, look, you're going to put me in the studio, man.
The prosecution knew he was guilty before they brought it to trial.
You're going to make me a priority, too. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs.
They had evidence from his house.
I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? I think as a kid, I realized, hey, look, that's not my ring. That's not my moment. That's not my bottle. That's not my drink. That's not my celebration. So I'm not here to celebrate. I wanted people to be excited about me the way that they were excited about him.
Absolutely.
Something is in there. A lot of positions that I think
I hope Usher comes clean and expose the truth. I mean, he said a lot in here. And this ain't no AI, that's Usher. And you can still see the intensity and the trauma almost in his facial expressions, the being uncomfortable. You know, why would you be making decisions at 13? Where was your mama? Why you didn't run it by your mama? Oh yeah, the feds been having us been having him. They have all the evidence for RICO, racketeering, and everything. They have put it out there. Yeah, absolutely. The feds got something coming. Oh, they got more coming. It's a wrap. Did he know it? How much longer does this have to go on? Why you keep saying that, Karen? And I don't know what you mean. You still stuck on Eddie Murphy. I don't know why. That's old news. Oh, I agree with her. Yeah, that's really old news. I'm just shocked that somebody has said that he saw them tongue kissing, like, But I know that girl, she put it out there, and I'm gonna be honest to say, when Nicole put it out there, I kind of was like, she just hating, you know. But she absolutely said that she's seen some things that cause suspicion, and that he spent more time in the little back house in the back of that Johnny Gill stayed in a little apartment behind their house, kind of like a man cave, man something. So Johnny Gill was living on Eddie Murphy's property in an apartment, like in-laws house, suite, whatever. Yeah, and that Eddie Murphy spent more time with Johnny Gill than with her. And they were affectionate. Yeah. Okay, y'all, so I'll be back in the morning. Get ready. Because they got some stuff that's coming. And they got the plug that's testifying against Diddy. They've been having Diddy, y'all. They just want Diddy to tell on the Jay-Z's and the Clive and some other. And that's what Suge Knight is campaigning for. Yeah, he did it, but he ain't the only one that did it or that does it. So he wants him to tell so he don't go down by himself. And maybe it'll put a stop to what's going on, because they are not the only ones that did it. That's why Boosie is saying they've been doing this. They finna get us on the back end. Yeah, Boosie said that aggressively. He was mad about it. Yeah, and that's why now, if you see Tia Kim, she like, yeah, all y'all better run y'all ass down there and support him, but they don't want to, because they don't want to be investigated. That's just like American Gangster. Once the feds saw you with certain people, they put you down on the list. Remember at one point Jay-Z was trying to say he wasn't friends with him, that they was just doing business together. Oh no, you a lie. Y'all real good friends. Y'all booty buddies for real. Kim Porter in her book said, you know, she you didn't want to be intimate with her when they was doing swinging. That you only wanted to be intimate with Diddy. Yeah, that's what she said. He didn't want to swing out with her. The heavy hitters about to come in effect. Yep. Because that plug that got arrested when they did that raid, the only one that was arrested, will be testifying this week. So y'all get y'all sleep. Let me get me some, and I'll be back in the morning. Good night, and get some rest. Peace out. Booty butters. I'm using that one. Karen. The plug gonna sing like Luther. What? It's all over now. Over now. Over now. It's all over now. Good night, y'all. Mwah. And hit the like button. Y'all, I need 11 likes. Can I get 11 likes? It's all over now. Something we did down. Over now. Over now. And when people come in and rewatch it, please hit the like button. I'll see y'all tomorrow.